It is Wednesday, April 7th, 4:59 a.m. It's the morning show.
Yes.
I'm Dave Azer, and look who's back.
Oh, I feel so missed when I come back. How you doing?
I'm good. Kristen Anderson, by the way, if you're like, I don't know who's back, I don't get it.
Who is that?
She's been gone.
Yeah.
She's been gone all week. We've missed you.
Honestly, thank you so much. I missed you back. I'm not going to lie. It was so wonderful to see my family. I went to California to see my family and everyone, but I am so happy just not to be shaking because the earthquakes, after the 7.2, I was in San Diego when that happened in Southern California, Mexicali, and whatnot. Anyway, and they just kept going. The aftershocks kept coming. So I'm finally like, it was to the point where I was making them up, and I would be like, oh, that's me. You know what I mean?
Well,
you've been through.
I can promise you an earthquake-free show here on the morning show.
Gosh,
yes.
Thank you so much. I'm happy to be here on the ground, but happy to be back, and we have a lot coming up today, right?
Yes, we do.
Oh my gosh, let's get to it right now at 5. A stunning turn of events.
She is a good mother. She is very good mother.
One day after making a very emotional public plea, the husband of a missing Coral Springs woman is arrested for her murder. How police say they were able to see through his lie.
Also this morning, we have new information about Josie Ratley's condition when her family's lawyer says the severely beaten Deerfield Beach teenager could wake up.
Plus, go to the movies on us. We're giving away free passes to the new movie, The Runaways, but don't run away from the morning show or you will miss your chance to win.
And although we certainly do advocate going to the movies, I love going to the movies. Today, Jeff, might not be a day to do that.
No,
unless you can go to like an outdoor movie or something.
Ooh, outdoor movie.
Exactly. First things first, I'd like to congratulate my UConn girls for winning the NCAA.
Yeah, right?
That's right, Kristen. Yes, congratulations. So the streak stays alive, and believe it or not, that was not just a shout out to my old school. That actually is the streak of beautiful weather stays alive once again today. Dave's right. No need for a movie today. Maybe Friday. That's going to be the next chance of some precipitation. But as we check out Precision Doppler HD this close, well, guess what? No problems on Interstate 95 at all. So basically, what does that mean? Well, let me tell you, last 6 hours are looking really, really clear. Actually, a little less cloud cover than what we saw this time in the morning yesterday. But again, we got that easterly, a little bit of a southeasterly flow rolling on up. So you will see some clouds, especially along the shore. Possibly as this high pressure that we've been talking about the last couple of days continues to slide out over the Atlantic, a little more cloud cover going to roll in. That's going to pave the way for a cool front coming into town on, let's call it, Friday as it stands right now. Computer models getting a little closer into agreement on the actual timing of that. So, Lauderhill kids, 70 degrees, comfortable wait at the bus stop this morning. And like we said, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're going partly cloudy skies, 78 by the time we get to lunch. We should top out roughly, let's call it 81 degrees, right about where we should be this time of the year. But it's hump day. That means we like to start talking and thinking about the weekend. I'll have your full weekend forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Good morning, Jeff. Well, we're talking a very smooth ride this morning through Broward County. The only significant work was taking place on the Turnpike, and that has just wrapped up. Now there's just a minor work, I-75 southbound, blocking a single lane approaching 595. The other roads, all clear sailing in Broward County. And Miami-Dade, we still have the I-95 northbound express lanes closed. Some usual overnight ramp restrictions involving State Road 112. And additionally, the northbound ramp from 874, the Don Shula, to 878, the Snapper Creek Expressway, that's closed for now. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is the place to check when you're heading out. The gang's all here. Kristen and Dave, over to you.
It is nice to have her back. Now it's time for a look at all of your latest headlines.
That's right, Lisa Hayward's at the Sun Sentinel News Desk for those. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Kristen and Dave. Good morning, South Florida. An update this morning on the Deerfield Beach Middle School girl who's been in the hospital for 3 weeks after being attacked on her school campus. The morning show's Kristen Kane is live in the studio with the latest. Chris?
Well, Lisa, even more good news for beating victim Josie Lou Ratley. Today marks 3 weeks she's been in a medically induced coma at Broward General Medical Center. And according to her family's lawyer, she's doing very well. And he's hoping today or tomorrow is the day she wakes up. Josie Lou Ratley's lawyer, Rick Friedman, says the 15-year-old is now breathing on her own. She's been taken off the ventilator. She's continuing to show signs of progress, and she's expected to wake up any day now.
Based on what the doctors have told me yesterday, she handled the first 24 hours really well once they reduced that first coma-inducing drug. So now they're going to start with the second and the third coma-inducing drugs. And once they take those two off, then the potential is that she wakes up. So we could be seeing major changes in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Josie was attacked on her Deerfield Beach Middle School campus on March 17th. 15-year-old Wayne Treacy is charged with attempted murder. He's accused of stomping on Ratley's head with steel-toed boots over an insensitive text message. Prosecutors have until April 19th to decide whether Treacy will be charged as an adult or as a juvenile.
And there are a number of fundraisers for Josie Lou Ratley being held around Broward tomorrow. A bike night benefit will be held at Mugshots Bar and Grill in Margate from 7:30 to 11:30 at night. The restaurant is at 1047 North State Road 7. And this Sunday, CJ's Draft House in Deerfield Beach will be holding a fundraiser from noon to 4. Don't forget, donations to the Josie Lou Ratley Fund can be made at Enia Wachovia Bank. And check out southflorida.com for all the latest updates on Josie's condition. Live in the studio, I'm Kristen Kane for The Morning Show.
One day after a Coral Springs man gives an emotional plea for his wife's safe return, a stunning arrest. He's now charged with killing his wife and dumping her body in a lake. The Morning Show's Juan Ortega has this story.
It was at this Pompano Beach lake where Coral Springs police found the body of a woman who disappeared 2 weeks ago. On Tuesday morning, police arrested her 63-year-old husband, Munawar Toha, on a first-degree murder charge after officers watched surveillance video they say shows him pushing the car into the lake. Saria Toha, 41, had been missing for nearly 2 weeks Saturday when 3 off-duty Coral Springs police officers visited Crystal Lake. Police used one officer's fishing boat to search the lake unsuccessfully, but they also noticed surveillance cameras on a building. The cameras faced an opening in a fence around the lake where they suspected the car was pushed.
Yeah, you see him driving the car in to the parking lot, removing a bicycle from the back of the car, then driving the car through the fence, pushing it over the bank, and ultimately the car going into the water, submerging and disappearing from sight.
Toha's arrest came a day after he held a news conference in front of his family's home, where he made an emotional appeal for information.
He said, your children is mess. You please come home.
Police, however, didn't buy Toha's actions.
I don't think it would be consistent with somebody that murdered their wife and put them in a car and then put the car in the lake.
Police declined to say why or how Toha allegedly killed his spouse. Police ask anyone with information to contact the Coral Springs Police Department. In Coral Springs, I'm Juan Ortega for The Morning Show.
Now an update to breaking news we brought you Tuesday morning. The search is on for the suspect who shot and killed a Nova Southeastern University professor during a home invasion in Plantation. Police say just after midnight, an intruder burst into Dr. Joseph Morrissey's home, bound him and his wife, and then set the house on fire. The professor's body was found on the patio. His wife, Linda, managed to escape with their young son, who slept through the crime. Both are okay this morning. A neighbor says the couple was taken to a bank and forced to withdraw money from an ATM. The victim's colleagues are stunned.
Not only do we lose a great individual, it's a great scientist and someone that was also going to allow this college to really continue its growth into the future.
So far, police have not said why the family was targeted. Dr. Morrissey was internationally recognized for his groundbreaking work using heat and radio waves to attack cancer cells. Former Miramar Commissioner Fitzroy Salesman is now a convicted felon. On Tuesday, jurors found him guilty of bribery and extortion. As you can see in this video prosecutors showed during the trial, it shows Salesman accepting $3,000 from undercover FBI agents posing as contractors in exchange for steering city contracts their way. Salesman faces up to 60 years in prison. He's scheduled to be sentenced in July. Salesman was one of 3 Broward County officials caught up in a corruption sting last year. The other 2 reached plea agreements of up to 3 years in prison. I'm Lisa Hayward, and that's a look at your latest headlines. Broward County, it's your show. Tell us what's happening in your neighborhood. Just go to southflorida.com and click on the feedback button right there on the homepage. It is 5:08. Back over to Kristen and Dave.
Thank you, Lisa. And high-stakes gamblers of Broward County, get ready to converge on the city of Hollywood. It's a relatively safe bet now that blackjack in Florida is here to stay.
Yeah, that's right. Governor Charlie Crist and state lawmakers announced a landmark $1 billion deal Tuesday with a Seminole tribe that legalizes blackjack in Florida. So if passed, the deal would hand the Seminoles a 5-year franchise to operate blackjack tables at its 5 casinos, including the facility in Hollywood. The Seminoles also get the exclusive rights to Vegas-style slots north of Broward. Another part of the deal also benefits the state's pari-mutuel facilities, who would get no-limit poker games, lifting the current $5 a hand restriction. The historic Hialeah Park would also be able to install slot machines, too.
South Florida pari-mutuels would also get a 15% tax cut on slots profits. Beyond Broward and Miami-Dade counties, pari-mutuels would be shut out of lucrative slots gambling. The deal still requires a vote from the House and Senate, which could come next week. The Seminole Tribal Council will gather today in Hollywood to give its stamp of approval. And a big part of the agreement would also benefit the state budget. It would inject $435 million into next year's spending plan. That could help limit or put off cuts to public education and road building programs. A lot of information here. Right. And if you want to make sense of it all, you can read more about it in today's Sun Sentinel.
And slightly less important, those electronic dealers, you know, the electronic, I always think they're cheating. Don't you? No, I always do, because they're not people. You know, obviously people can cheat too, but with the computers, I'm like, oh no, you cheater, but you can't do anything about it. You can't even complain, right?
No, I think complaining in a casino is not going to get you anything. Not even a continental breakfast. I think you get nothing.
Dang it.
And you have to like it. All right, before we head to break, time to check in with Jeff and Mr. Traffic. Now, Jeff, you've got a 16, and the dealer has a 10 showing. Are you gonna man up and hit on that 16?
Wow, ooh, that was the big one. You know what?
Are you gonna hit on 16? Yes or no?
Is it as Kristen said? Is it video?
No, it's dealer.
Real live dealer.
I need an answer.
I'm hitting.
I am too.
You got a 5. You got a 5. 21. You win.
Oh, woo! Yeah. Welcome back, Kristen. Thanks for that. My lucky charm. All right, all right. Precision Doppler HD, it's looking really good, almost like you hit 21 yet again here, all right? We got our basically 9th consecutive day of gorgeous weather. That streak is going to come to an end. I can zoom out here, though, let you know, all up and down 95, up from West Palm all the way down to Miami. No problems this morning at all. Right now, it is a warm morning out there. Not a huge difference, believe it or not, from the low and the high temperatures here. Actually hit 79 degrees in Fort Lauderdale. On Tuesday, 72, or we hit 79 degrees actually for a high temperature on Tuesday, 72 right now. So not a huge fluctuation, going for about 81 degrees today. 73 down the road in Miami. And here's the way the next couple of days look. Yeah, there it is. There's that annoying shower. Not going to be a washout, but what about the rest of the weekend? There's your Friday. We want to see those other 2 days, and I'll let you know what's going on for the rest of the weekend. Coming up in just a few, but first, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
That's a very good bet on the early ride through Broward right now. No remaining significant overnight construction and no accidents to slow you down. But check that ride anytime, southflorida.com/traffic.
This weekend, The Runaways opens up in theaters across America. But what if we told you that you had the chance to see the film before anybody else?
That'd be awesome.
Isn't that cool? Then you'd be like, oh, I saw the movie. I don't want to spoil the ending because I'm fancy. Well, stick around because we are giving away tickets. And also ahead, one Broward-based airline company says it wants to lower fares. But that could mean that you pay more for something else. Why this new plan could have more people checking their baggage.
The UConn Lady Huskies extend their winning streak and lock up another college basketball championship. They're pretty good, I'd say. But find out what they have in common with the men's champs. Good morning, Fort Lauderdale. The morning show continues.
Morning Show Weather is brought to you by Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
Good morning, Pompano Beach. Here's a look at stories making headlines coast to coast. 25 people are dead and 4 others are still missing after Monday's massive explosion at the Upper Big Branch coal mine in southern West Virginia. Mining experts say it could take 2 days to drill ventilation holes to clear dangerous gases before rescue crews can go back in. The cause of the blast is still under investigation, but methane gas has been blamed in several deadly mining explosions in recent years. Questions have also been raised in the past regarding the mine's safety record. 3 other people people have died there in the past 12 years, and the mine has recently been cited for dozens of safety violations. The Obama administration has announced the U.S. is swearing off the development of new generations of nuclear weapons, and it will not use its existing arsenal to attack non-nuclear states that are in compliance with non-proliferation agreements. Defense Secretary Robert Gates explained America's stance toward countries that are not in compliance.
So if there is a message for Iran and North Korea here, it is that if you're going to play by the rules, if you're going to join the international community, then we will undertake certain obligations to you. And that's covered in the NPR. But if you're not going to play by the rules, if you're going to be a proliferator, then all options are on the table.
The change comes 2 days before President Obama is scheduled to sign a new nuclear arms treaty with Russia. The agreement reduces the missile stockpiles of both nations. Hold on to your seats for this story. Airline travelers are just getting used to paying for checking their baggage. Now, an airline has taken things a step farther and will begin charging for carry-ons. Spirit Airlines says it will charge $20 to $45 for overhead bin items. The cost depends on whether passengers are members of Spirit's ultra-low-fare club and whether they pre-reserve their carry-on bag in advance. Passengers will still be able to bring a personal item that fits under a seat for free, such as a purse or briefcase. The new fee is effective for reservations made after April 5th for travel starting August 1st. I'm Lisa Hayward. It's 5:17, and that's a look at stories making headlines coast to coast. Back down to Dave and Kristen.
Thanks, Lisa. We're actually going to spend a lot of time this morning talking about that and getting your thoughts and your take on it.
Because I want to complain. Don't you?
Bang your fist on that. Yeah.
I should.
Yes.
It would have been more dramatic.
That would have been cooler. All right, well, more on that later. But now, a historic and monumental accomplishment in women's basketball. The UConn Lady Huskies still scribbling their names all across the record books. Yep. But much like the men's college champion Duke, the Huskies, who have obliterated the competition, found out that the final hurdle wouldn't come so easy. Show you the highlights. Pick it up with just over 7 minutes left in the second half of the championship game against Stanford. After some quick ball movement, Lady Husky star Maya Moore drains the three to make it 41-29. Then, a few possessions later, more UConn magic. Caroline Doty, she will nail a three of her own to make it 47-31 UConn. But you got to give Stanford credit. They don't give up. Those Stanford lady basketball players, they never give up, Kristen.
No, they don't.
Kayla Peterson, she hit a bank shot three-pointer from the wing to make it 47-40. Don't you have to call it when it's a bank like that?
I don't think in the finals you need to.
No? All right, well.
Just in, like, backyard
Just
basketball.
in horse. It wouldn't be enough, though. The UConn Lady Huskies hang on to win 53-47. UConn wins back-to-back national championships and its 78th game in a row.
Gosh, that is just incredible. Oh, my goodness. I think a lot of people knew UConn was going to win, though. I just don't feel like they were as evenly matched.
They beat everybody. I mean, they've 78 in a row now. But now though, it's time to continue to bask in the glory of this.
Yeah.
Let's throw it over to UConn's most famous alum ever, I think, Jeff Melkars.
That's right. Ever. Google that. Google that.
You know, I went to the UConn campus and I saw the Jeff Melkars Library, the Jeff Melkars Meteorological Institution.
Meteorological Institution.
I saw a lot of stuff there. Yeah, with your name all over it.
Statues abounding. Unbelievable. Huge statues, making me look a lot taller than I really am, which is awesome. They, I kind of had that specially made. But yeah, no, and we're not happy here. I tell you, it was a little hairy. They were down at the half. It was like, what's going on? It's supposed to be a blowout. But as he said, yeah, another consecutive win and another consecutive gorgeous day here in South Florida. Now, can we keep both streaks alive? No, sorry. The Lady Husky streak is going to continue while our good weather streak, unfortunately, is going to come to an end. Not today, though. Today's not the day. You can see Precision Doppler HD. We are sweeping clear. Fort Lauderdale down towards Hollywood, down towards Miami, looking great. You know what? Showing you the rest of Interstate 95, wherever your commute may take you. Really no problems at all. And that is because, well, we got this high pressure kind of hanging out. I've been showing you this the last couple of days. It's going to finally start to move away, though, over the course of the next, say, 24 hours. So we got to make way for some clouds. And yes, a cool front is going to roll through. Most people call it a cold front, but this time of the year, it's going to just be a cool front. All right, you can see last 6 hours, considerably less clouds than we've seen the last, I'd say, couple of days at this hour. But you know what? Here's the big weather stories here. We've got a little more cloud cover today, some low-level moisture. It's going to increase. Still a good beach day, though. So if you're off this week, good for you. But you head to the beach. Guess what? You got to deal with the, you got to take the bad news with the good. Still that rip current risk thanks to that east-southeast flow out there. Now, right there, you can see it's southeast winds at about 9 miles an hour in Fort Lauderdale, 72 degrees in Miami, 73 degrees. Winds out of the east-southeast at about 7 miles an hour. So for the kids in Hollywood, we're going to go with about 71 degrees, just about where it is right now, quite frankly. Really warm this morning at the bus. In fact, not a huge difference between the temperature right now and what we're going to make get to today. 81 degrees for a high temperature. High temperature, by the way, right about where it should be for this time of the year. Whole lot of sunshine out here, but you can start to see some of those clouds to the north. And again, what does that mean? Well, I'm going to back off on the sun index again from the last couple of days. 8 out of 10 still dealing with that rip current risk. Make sure you wear that sunscreen. 71 degrees we get down to tonight. So again, not a huge departure from the high and the low. Partly cloudy, gusty winds up to about 20 miles an hour, even in the overnight. And the warm up continues until that front comes through. Again, not really a cold front, cool front. Really going to feel the change and the difference more in the humidity Friday into Saturday. Temperatures right around 80 for the weekend. Going to be a good weekend once that rain gets out of here. All right, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Morning roads looking good right now. Here's an early reminder about tonight. Overnight tonight, the Turnpike will be closed between I-595 and the Golden Glades in Miami for utility work. The closing is from 11 p.m. tonight until 4 a.m. tomorrow. More traffic coming up.
Straight ahead, Broward County parents, listen up. Your favorite holiday could make a comeback this year. We'll explain.
And it is elimination time on DWTS. You know what that is, right?
Yeah. Do you know what it is?
Down with the Sorrow. Oh, no, Dancing with the Stars. I'm sorry.
Right.
Let's just say being amongst the stars may be easier than actually dancing with them. Your entertainment fix is next. What's up, Cooper City and Pompano Beach, too? Yeah, might as well give a shout out to them. Yeah, it's the morning show. Kristen's back. Holla!
Goodness, it is time for your entertainment news, so get excited. So I was off Monday night, so I finally was awake during Dancing with the Stars. Usually I DVR and then watch way after the fact.
Sure.
Can I just say Kate Gosselin is so bad. I mean, I heard that she was, you know, whatever, not too great, but seeing it is a whole different story, seeing it for myself. So I get it, she has 8 kids, yeah, and ballroom dancing, it's not easy, but it is just painful to watch her. I mean, she's just so stiff, she's unhappy the whole time. Then during judging, we're not going to see it here, but during...
That's her, right?
Yes, look at her.
She doesn't even look like her.
Wait, time out. She was dancing to Gaga's Paparazzi, by the way.
Oh, got it.
Anyway, during judging, she just looks miserable. America, however, enjoys watching the train wreck that is Kate Gosselin because she was spared from elimination. This guy, Jake Pavelka, the Bachelor, he was in the bottom 2. Can you even believe it?
No.
I thought that was ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, he did the quick step, and I thought it was awesome. Buzz Aldrin here, you're looking at. He was on the chopping block as well. The judges said he was stiff, but I mean, he's 80 years old.
Yeah.
What do you expect? He walked on the moon. I just don't understand.
I think he should automatically win for that, frankly.
I know, right? He at least gets a couple bonus points every round. Anyway, let's go straight to elimination.
On this 3rd week of competition, the couple with the lowest overall combined total, and therefore leaving right now, is... Buzz and Ashley.
Oh, the charming NASA pioneer Buzz Aldrin and his partner Ashley Costa, they were sent packing. So after he got the boot, I thought this was cute. He said, quote, "I did this show for the fighter pilots out there, the military people, and the elder geezers like me who would just want to see an elder come back week after week."
I just want to say, what kind of world is it where he goes home but Kate Gosselin stays?
She's not even in the bottom. I think people just enjoy watching because she got in a fight. She, you know, was unhappy with her partner, and then I guess they're in love now. Weird. Anyway, if you want to read more entertainment news, just go to southflorida.com, where if you click on the entertainment section at the top of the page, you can read up on all the entertainment news, celebrity gossip, read TV blogs, and even more. You can read Dave Azer's bio on there. It's awesome.
It is riveting.
Coming up, Jinx, improving the look of your eyelashes has become a common trend, right? But some say you better do some extensive research before getting them extended in the whole flutter thing. We're showing you what to look for.
And from the Sun Sentinel News Desk, giving money to beggars on the streets could cost you jail time in Oakland Park. Details next on The Morning Show.
I love my new iPad. It does a ton of cool things. But will it blend? That is the question. Doesn't quite fit in the jar, but I can take care of that.
A power pad, but not a power shake maker. The one flaw of the iPad, it won't blend. It is today's hilarious viral video, iPad in a blender. Check it out on southflorida.com/viral. Seems to me like a great use of money right there.
It's just me. I don't understand that video.
You have to keep watching it.
I don't understand why it's funny.
Well, then don't watch it. It actually is. It is pretty ridiculous, though. Yeah.
What happens?
You'll have to watch.
Gosh, what is it? southflorida.com/viral. I gotta check it out because I'm not getting the message there. But anyway, coming up at 5:30, Bridget Carey from the Miami Herald has something very special for the eco-friendly commuter.
Also, your chance to see the new movie, The Runaways, for free. That's just moments away.
Plus, how to and how not to get eyelash extensions. That and more coming up.
But first, before any of that magic happens, the one man who doesn't need any eyelash extensions, those are all natural.
I don't need them, but what if I used them? Is that all right?
Yeah, because they're nice. They make you feel glamorous.
Thank you. I feel so glamorous. It draws attention to myself and my ability to tell you that it's going to be another beautiful day here throughout South Florida. Right, Kristen? That is what they do for me, right?
Yes.
You're the one that told me they look so good that one time, and I've been wearing them ever since.
Oh, Jeff.
You're just screwing around with me? That's all right. That's okay. It's all right. I'm going to keep wearing them, Kristen, all right? Anyways, I do have long, lovely lashes. All right, Precision Doppler HD. It's sitting pretty out there. You can see that we are sweeping clear Fort Lauderdale down towards Hollywood. Everything's looking beautiful out there. Now, here's the key. You got to get out there and you got to enjoy it while you can, because as high pressure moves away from the Atlantic, what's going to eventually happen is it's going to let a little cool front roll through. So, you know, we can't have every day be a sunny, beautiful day here, right? That'd be boring, right? We need a little excitement over here. Well, like I said, high pressure going to slide away. Cool front going to roll through. Considerably less clouds than what we've seen the last few days, though, with this easterly, southeasterly flow out there. So for the kids in Lauderhill, we're going for 70 degrees, a comfortable wait at the bus stop today, and the day is looking great. We go up to about 78 degrees. By the time we get to lunchtime, plenty of sunshine. That's going to be the story. A little more cloud cover out there. Make sure you got that sunscreen if you're heading to the beach, but it's hump day, right? What does that mean for the rest of the week? What about the weekend? I got your full forecast coming up in a few minutes, but first, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Well, good morning, Jeff. Good morning, South Florida. Not much of a rush right now in Broward County. Very smooth roads. No matter where you're going, you won't have to rush. The only thing to watch for, little road debris right now. I-95 northbound at Sheridan Street. Big plastic box on the center lane. That should be out of there by the time you get there. Should have the road rangers cleaning that up. All the other roads in Broward County, 95, 75, the Turnpike, all looking very good this morning. In Miami-Dade County, the I-95 northbound express lanes, they are in the process of reopening right now. Most of the other overnight work is cleared. Minor lane restrictions for State Road 112 at 36th Street and along the Dolphin 836. They involve long-term projects. southflorida.com/traffic is the place to check when you're heading out. Kristen, Dave, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Traffic. Let's get a look at your headlines now happening in South Florida.
Lisa Hayward standing by live in the Sun Sentinel News Desk. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Dave and Kristen. Good morning to you at home. It is official. A longstanding Broward County commissioner will not seek re-election in November. Commissioner Diana Wasserman Rubin received a standing ovation after her announcement Tuesday. She says she'll not seek another term due to what promises to be a lengthy battle with Parkinson's disease. Rubin says she's been battling the disease for about 7 years and says she wants to dedicate more time to her loved ones. But before leaving, she had a warm message for her colleagues and supporters.
Here's a great big hug, a smile, and a thank you for your continued support and for allowing me to represent your interests. No. For the past over 30 years of public service, it has been an honor, and I am forever grateful for the great experience.
Wasserman Rubin says she plans to continue serving her community as an advocate for Parkinson's research. Both she and her husband have been the subject of an ethics investigation in which she was accused of voting on county issues that may have benefited her husband financially. If you're in Oakland Park, you may want to think twice before opening up your wallets to beggars. City officials will vote tonight on whether or not drivers should be fined or even jailed if they give money to panhandlers. Under the proposed law, beggars and vendors will also be fined or jailed for approaching drivers in roadways. Some city commissioners say the point of the law is to keep people safe and avoid accidents. Moms and dads, one of your favorite holidays is making a comeback. Florida's back-to-school sales tax holiday has been reinstated for one weekend in August. You can enjoy tax-free shopping from August 13th to the 15th on clothes and shoes less than $50. School supplies less than $10 will also be tax-free under a bill the Florida House passed Tuesday. The state Senate still must approve the tax holiday. The back-to-school break has been popular for a decade now, but lawmakers suspended it the past 2 years because of financial constraints. I'm Lisa Hayward. For more on these stories and instant updates on breaking news, just go to our website, southflorida.com. Broward County, it is your show. Tell us what's happening in your neighborhood. Send us an email at feedback@southflorida.com. Dave and Kristen, back to you.
Thanks, Lisa. In today's Tech Minute, something very green for the green commuter.
Bridget Carey of the Miami Herald tells us about a new mode of transportation that won't increase your carbon footprint.
Here I have the top green gadget from this year's Consumer Electronics Show, the Eneloop bike made by Sanyo. Now, it's an electronic assist bike that works like a normal bike until you turn on the engine. Then you still have to pedal, but when you pedal, it gives you twice as much kick as your legs normally can take you. Now, the battery is going to last you about 40 miles. And what I like about the recharger, the wall recharger, is that when it's full, it cuts off the juice, so no overcharging the battery and killing the battery. It also naturally recharges by going downhill. And what I like is that the bike overall is pretty light. It's under 50 pounds. Now, it's not meant to make you a speed demon. It's only going about 15 miles an hour. But what it is designed to do is, just make it easier on you when you want to use your car less, but then not get all sweaty for doing like basic errands. It's very popular though with the over 40 crowd who want to still bike, but they need a little help. Now, it's $2,300. And if that makes you want to screech the brakes, realize, hey, it's new. It'll go down in price in time if this is your kind of thing. From the Miami Herald, I'm Bridget Carey.
What do you think?
I think it was absolutely fantastic until the $2,300 part. I was like, no. But I mean, it beats one of the little motor scooter things if you still want a little bit of exercise, maybe.
Yeah, and like she said, if you're going to work and you don't want to get all sweated up, then it's a nice little compromise.
How talented is she, though? She's like riding the bike. I was like, please make it, because you don't want that.
Bridget Carey is no joke.
Yeah, Bridget.
Big show for you tomorrow. Here's what we got going on. You know that song, The Boy Is Mine, right?
Yeah. Monica and Brandy, like, fight it out.
Yeah, that's right. Well, Monica will be joining us. She's an R&B superstar. Plus, we'll have two wives of professional basketball players to talk about their new VH1 show, NBA Wives.
Oh, my goodness. I cannot wait to see that, by the way. We're also previewing a film festival here in the SFL just for kids. I wonder if big kids as well. Well, we're previewing it tomorrow. And plenty more to get to today. We've heard the outrageous new fees from Spirit Airlines. Oh, my goodness. Well, this fiasco has us wondering what annoys you the most about flying the so-called friendly skies. Talk with us in today's SFL Says. Vent with us.
And why shelling out a little extra dough for eyelash extensions could save you a trip to the hospital. Even the UConn women's team is excited about eyelash extensions. They won a championship. Let's get new eyelashes. Tell you what's crazy right now.
What?
Airline travel.
Gosh, I know, right?
All right, I've been working on this. I was never a cheerleader.
Okay.
I'm gonna try something. Tell me if you like this. Okay. We got Spirit, yes we do. We fly Spirit. Now we have to pay $45 for carry-on luggage.
That was good.
Thank you.
If only you had some pom-poms. No, but the message, though, don't get it twisted. The message was right on. Spirit Airlines, the low-cost carrier based in Miramar, announced it will soon charge passengers as much as $45 for each piece of carry-on luggage. Again, this is not checked luggage. Oh, no. Carry-on luggage. So I'm going to try and deliver this one straight up because the frustration, I think, is just seeping through. But here's the deal. The carry-on bag fee goes into effect for reservations made after Monday for travel on or after August 1st. And here's basically how it breaks down. Carry-ons that fit in the overhead bin will cost you anywhere from $30 to $45, while Fare Club members will pay $20 for each carry-on bag. There is, however, no charge for carry-on items that fit in that tiny little space underneath the seat, like a tiny little purse that people obviously need more space than that.
Yeah, that tears it. I'm just wearing one outfit for a 2-week trip.
I know.
Not bringing anything. So probably safe to assume this is not sitting well with you. But here's what we want to know this morning. Is this the most annoying thing to you about air travel? What, frankly, annoys you the most about flying the friendly skies, and why does it annoy you the most? It's funny, we were kicking this around in the newsroom before the show today, and everybody chimed in. Everyone in the newsroom has their own things that really make them crazy about air travel. So we do want to know from you what drives you the most crazy. You have some funny ones too, Kristen.
Yeah, shall we get to ours? Let's go to our Facebook wall first because we have a couple good comments. Tony commented on our Facebook wall.
Right, Tony said, what doesn't annoy you about airline travel? Okay, that's good. We're still looking for the single most thing, but okay.
Okay, let's try Shamika. Shamika says, having to arrive at the airport 2 hours in advance. Who wants to sit in the airport that long when they have a long/short flight?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's, you know, security and all that. I get that, but I'm talking more, for example, a few hours ago before the show, I flew cross country, you know, to make it back to work this morning. And not only was the guy next to me eating disgusting Mexican food, it was like smelly Mexican food like this, but he kept doing nonverbal gestures like this. Like he was frustrated because I guess the flight attendant wasn't picking up his trash fast enough. So he kept going like this. I was like, stop it. Are you having a seizure? I was seriously, he was insane. And I was right next to him and I kept going like, just stop. But it gets worse and worse. But I think people that are just inconsiderate and annoying.
Yeah, I think the solution to that is just buy 2 seats and have an empty one sitting next to you at all times. That's practical, right? All right, there are so many of these that we can talk about.
You're telling your story later.
Yeah, I will tell my story later. I've got to get your opinion on that. But here's how you can get a hold of us. We want to know, what is it that annoys you about air travel more than anything else?
Oh my gosh, I have another good one from last night's flight.
Save it. We do have a 4-hour show.
Okay.
All right, here's how you can contact us this morning. 877-5050-735 to call us. To text us, it's 23539. Send us an email, feedback@southflorida.com. You can be our fan on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at WSFL. Speaking of Facebook fans, time for a quick shout out to our Facebook Fan of the Day, Lisa Aguirre. Congratulations, Lisa. I'm assuming it's Aguirre, maybe it's Aguirre. I hope,
no.
Well, let's just go with Lisa for sure. Lisa, thank you so much for watching. Thanks for being a fan.
Okay, I'm very excited because we just love giving away free stuff. And now is your chance to win 2 admit 2 passes. 2 admit 2 passes.
I think, would that be a total of 4? 2 admit 2s?
Anyway, we're giving away passes to see the movie The Runaways.
Right, all you have to do right now is to be our 3rd caller. I think that's right. 877-5050-SFL. 877-5050-735. You have to be 18 or older and live in Monroe, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. Once again, Kristen, the tickets are for 2 admit 2 passes to see The Runaways at Sunrise Cinema's Gateway 4, Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Don't worry, though, if you aren't our 3rd caller, there will be 3 more chances to win throughout today's show. Good luck. So just so we're clear.
4 people get
Yes. Jeff, that's 2 admit 2 passes.
Oh, funny.
You know what? I got to be honest with you. I'm glad I'm standing here and not sitting on the couch because math before 6 o'clock. I hate to have to do that stuff. It's just not my thing.
The wording was confusing.
At all. Yeah, exactly. All right, Precision Doppler HD. You know what? It's looking just fine. Say we're gonna role play a little bit because it's a little early for you to step out of the house, right? Your coffee's brewing. You're cooking your breakfast. You don't want to go out right now. But let's say you did step outside. Well, You're driving to work, not a problem at all as far as Mother Nature's concerned. Fort Lauderdale down to Hollywood. You want to see the rest? Maybe you're going north of Fort Lauderdale. You can't see it on Precision Doppler HD. Look at this. One button click. There's Coral Springs, Boynton Beach. A little bit more. You're heading up to West Palm. Fantastic. Good for you. There's going to be no problems as far as Mother Nature's concerned at all. You know what? We got this high pressure system. Been talking about it the last couple of days. It is going to continue to slide out over in that general direction. What we've got going on, this easterly flow, basically a little more of a southerly component today, actually, as I drew that on there appropriately. So what it still means are a couple of things for us. Let me show you the last 6 hours here just to show you how clear it is. Not a huge difference in the high and the low temperatures right now. We're still right around the low 70s. We're going to get up to the low 80s. But here's your weather headlines today. As that high pressure slides away, a little more low-level moisture rolling in, some more clouds. A good beach day still, but you're going to want to watch out for that rip current risk out there as those winds, again, coming from the east to the southeast, right up along that Atlantic coast. So, 79 degrees, still a couple of degrees cooler than we should be for this time of the year. 81 the average temperature. I think we're going to make it today. We're at 72 right now, getting a pretty good head start on this. Southeast winds, 9 miles an hour. The school forecast for you in Plantation, 70 degrees, a couple of clouds out there. No need for a jacket at all. You saw those easterly winds. That's going to be the story for the next 24 hours. Winds out of the southeast, 10 to 15 knots, just a moderate chop out there. Like I said, topping out roughly 81. That high temperature is right where it should be, as you saw. And you know what? Futurecast HD, barely a cloud in the sky. There you go through lunchtime. We take you right on through your evening commute. No problems at all whatsoever. 71 we get down to tonight. So again, not a huge difference over the course of the next 24 hours. Partly cloudy. Those winds are going to pick up, though, coming from the east, the southeast. And here we go with that extended forecast. Warm up continues. Right ahead of that front is going to be our warmest period here, and most humid period as well. Front comes through, paving the way, bulldozing the way, getting rid of some of that humidity for a gorgeous Saturday and Sunday the way it looks right now. All right, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
It's a very good ride through Broward right now. Just watch for some road debris, a big plastic box. Northbound lanes on I-95 near Sheridan should be cleared soon. Check the ride anytime, southflorida.com/traffic.
We have a lash alert. It's one of the biggest beauty trends women are spending their money on, eyelash extensions. You know, you feel really glam when you got them on. You can get them put on at locations all over Broward County. But experts say you need to do your research before you lash up. Reporter Giselle Phelps explains what you should look out for.
You have the most beautiful eyes. I'm so jealous of your long natural lashes.
Kaya Azad is a nanoscientist who is a self-proclaimed lash fanatic. Azad researched 13 different places before she found a certified lash stylist.
Something that's going to get that close to my eyes. I'm gonna do my background search on it. There are varying sizes.
Kathy Din runs Park City's Lash Boutique. Her lash extensions start at $200. Money she says her clients don't mind spending to get the job done right.
The extensions are applied individually to one natural lash, a millimeter away from your eyelid, so it doesn't touch your eyelid at all.
Lash extensions can cost you up to $300, but at the Big T Plaza in Oak Cliff, you can get them done for just $25.
If you're getting just $25 lash, you're just getting the individual lashes, the ones that singly put in, into the eyes itself.
She insists they're safe, but says,
on the other hand, it burns. If they're not done properly, it can burn your eyes.
Din says she's done a lot of correction work for women who bought cheaper lashes that were applied in clumps.
It actually impacts the health of your natural lashes, damaging them, pulling them out prematurely.
Din says buyers should consider what the lashes are made of and what kind of glue is being used.
All right, yet another example of why it's just easier to be a guy. Ahead in sports, meet the two men who are about to be thrust into the spotlight. We'll explain. Plus, yet another milestone for a quarterback, Brett Favre, and it's going to put the old gunslinger in a class all by himself. We'll tell you all about it. Hey, control room, take us to break, huh? more time for sports, and today the Florida Panthers are limping to the finish line. The Panthers fell 5-2 to the Ottawa Senators last night. Panthers have lost 9 of their last 12. There are only 3 games left in the season. How about a little baseball? As for the Marlins, they'll try to get their first win of the 2010 season tonight at 7:10 against the New York Mets. And the Miami Heat will host the Philadelphia 76ers tonight at 7:30. Let the money flow. Former University of Florida QB Tim Tebow has apparently inked a huge endorsement deal with athletic shoe giant Nike. The deal is said to be worth about $30 grand. Tebow, if you didn't know, is one of the most popular athletes in Florida, and how could you not know that? He's proven his star power by gathering crowds of up to 2,000 for autograph signings. Tebow is expected to be one of the most intriguing picks in this year's NFL draft. Round 1 of the draft is Thursday, April 22nd. And yet another milestone for NFL quarterback Brett Favre. The aging gunslinging QB is now a granddaddy. His 21-year-old daughter, Brittany, has given birth to a boy, Parker Brett. The little gunslinger weighed in at 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Didn't he know that was John Elway's number? Anyway, Favre has yet to announce whether he will return to the Vikings and play a 20th season in the NFL. By the way, the NFL says it knows of no other grandfathers among current players. And you have to think, with the way things are going, Favre's grandson may actually play in the NFL with him, with the way it's going with Brett Favre. And since we haven't mentioned him yet today, hey, let's do it. Tiger. If you plan on tuning into the Masters to watch the return of Tiger Woods, get ready to see a lot of KJ Choi and Matt Kuchar. That's because those are the golfers paired with Tiger for the tourney. Tee time for that group is around 1:42 Thursday afternoon. Don't forget, southflorida.com/sports has everything that you need to catch up on all your sports news, scores, stats, and info. And while you're there, find out why Tiger Woods says nothing has changed. Read the article on southflorida.com/sports.
At 6, tax day right around the corner. If you still haven't filed with Uncle Sam, listen up. There may be a way that you can get help for free. And you want to encourage your kids to read? We're talking to a children's writer who takes his cues from the happiest place on earth. All that and so much more at 6 on The Morning Show. Good morning. Here's what's happening today on The Morning Show.
Right now at 6, we have an update this morning on the Deerfield Beach middle schooler who was severely beaten 3 weeks ago. We'll hear from the family's lawyer about when Josie Ratley could wake up.
Also, one airline is proposing a major fee to carry on your bags. Is this the next step for flying the friendly skies? We're talking about that and more plane problems.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very friendly to me at all. Luckily, I've got a much friendlier forecast for you. 72 degrees right now in Fort Lauderdale if you step outside, but your full forecast is coming up in seconds on The Morning Show.
Wednesday, April 7th on The Morning Show. I'm Dave Azer.
I'm Kristen Anderson. Yeah, those skies not too friendly in my opinion, yeah?
No, and we are going to spend a lot of time this morning talking with you and hearing from you about what bugs you the most about airline travel.
Yeah, because everyone can agree, I think, that the carry-on fee even being proposed is just ridiculous. But we'll get into the details and just vent a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, we'll do a little venting.
Yeah, it's Wednesday hump day, so welcome to it. Halfway through the week, Jeff Melcars. I'm hoping for a beautiful, beautiful day because, you know, I was out of town and I didn't get to enjoy the beautiful weather.
Mother Nature's welcoming you back with open arms, Kristen, as are we all here at The Morning Show. Yeah, you came in pretty good. A couple of great days. I hate to tell you that you missed over the weekend, but Precision Doppler HD is sweeping clear. No problems. Fort Lauderdale down to Pembroke Pines. We got Coral Springs is looking good. Let's zoom out just a little bit to show you what's going on in Hialeah down in Miami. No real problems out there at all. Now, of course, the last 6 hours, you don't see too much cloud cover, but looking at some of those surface observations, definitely seeing some clouds. More towards the executive airport along the coast, a little less cloud cover than what we saw this morning. Those will break up a little bit, and there will be plenty of sunshine, though perhaps a little more cloud cover than we saw yesterday. How about this for the kids in Lauderhill? 70 degrees. You're out there waiting for the bus. Not a bad morning at all. It's going to be a very comfortable wait out there indeed, and your day planner looking like this. We warm up pretty nice. 78 degrees by the time we get to lunch. The warm-up's not done. I'm going for about 81 degrees, which incidentally is right about where we should be for this this time of the year. But it is your happy hump day. What exactly does that mean for the rest of the week? What about the weekend? Your full forecast coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, how's that morning rush treating you?
Well, good morning, Jeff. Right now, our situation in Broward County is very clear. It's a smooth ride throughout. Earlier, we had some road debris, 95 at Sheridan Street. That's completely gone right now. And all the other roads, 595, 75, the Turnpike, Sawgrass, they're all looking good right now. Same deal pretty much for Miami-Dade County. It's a good ride on most of the major roadways. They are accident-free and up to speed. The express lanes are open on I-95 and the 874, the Don Shula. The overnight work is finished. All the exit and entrance ramps there are open as well. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is where you should check before you head out. Kristen, Dave, over to you.
Okay, Mr. Traffic, thank you. Now, for a look at all of your latest headlines, we'll check in with Lisa Hayward at the Sun Sentinel News Desk. Good morning, Lisa.
Hi, Dave and Kristen. Good morning to you at home. An update this morning on the Deerfield Beach Middle School girl who's been in the hospital for 3 weeks after being attacked on her school campus. The morning show's Kristen Kane is live in the studio with the latest. Chris?
Well, Lisa, even more good news for beating victim Josie Lou Ratley. Today marks 3 weeks she's been in a medically induced coma at Broward General Medical Center. According to her family's lawyer, she's doing very well, and he's hoping today or tomorrow is the day she wakes up.
Josie Lou Ratley's lawyer, Rick Friedman, says the 15-year-old is now breathing on her own. She's been taken off the ventilator. She's continuing to show signs of progress, and she's expected to wake up any day now.
Pneumonia's gone, fever's gone, infections are gone. I mean, all positive signs. Ever since Sunday, since Easter Sunday, things have been really upbeat. Mom's, positive, smile on her face for the first time in 3 weeks.
Josie was attacked on her Deerfield Beach Middle School campus on March 17th. 15-year-old Wayne Tracy is charged with attempted murder. He's accused of stomping on Ratley's head with steel-toed boots over an insensitive text message. Prosecutors have until April 19th to decide whether Tracy will be charged as an adult or as a juvenile.
And there are a number of fundraisers for Josie Lou Ratley being held around Broward. Tomorrow, a bike night benefit will be held at Mugshots Bar and Grill in Margate from 7:30 to 11:30. The restaurant is at 1047 North State Road 7. And don't forget, donations to the Josie Lou Ratley Fund can be made at any Wachovia Bank. And don't forget to check out SouthFlorida.com for all the latest updates on Josie's condition. Live in the studio, I'm Kristen Kane for The Morning Show.
A shocking development in the case of a missing Coral Springs woman. Her husband, who publicly pleaded for her safe return, is now charged with her murder. Police arrested 63-year-old Munamar Toha Tuesday after reviewing surveillance tapes near the man's office. Coral Springs police say the tapes show Toha pushing a car into a nearby lake. After watching the video, police searched the lake and found the body of Surya Toha, who had been missing for nearly 2 weeks. The arrest comes after Toha broke down in tears, asking for the public's help.
Your children is mess. You please come home.
But police say his actions were suspicious and inconsistent with a person coping with loss. How Surya died is still not known. If you have any information about this crime, call the Coral Springs Police Department. The number is 954-344-1800. One of Broward County Commissioner's tangled political career has come to a shameful end. Former Miramar Commissioner Fitzroy Salesman has been found guilty of bribery and extortion. Yesterday, a jury found him guilty. He faces up to 60 years in prison. The 53-year-old is scheduled to be sentenced July 8th. Salesman was one of 3 Broward officials caught up in a corruption sting last year. The other 2 reached plea agreements of 2.5 to 3 years in prison. A small community in southern West Virginia is dealing with incomprehensible loss this morning. 4 people are still missing and 25 are dead after Monday's massive explosion at the Upper Big Branch coal mine. A vigil was held to mourn the dead and pray for the missing. Mining officials say it could take 2 days to drill ventilation holes before rescue crews can go back in. The cause of the blast is still under investigation this morning. The mining company has had its share of safety problems in the past. Last year alone, the company was issued 458 citations from federal investigators. Broward County leaders are bracing for what's bound to be a long month of budget talks and negotiations. The issue, more work and less money. On Tuesday, county commissioners held a workshop to discuss how best to make the cuts. The Broward Sheriff's Office must save about $32 million to balance its budget. Sheriff Lamberti plans to have a budget proposal, as will other department heads, by next month. As the Florida legislature also tries to balance its budget, some former foster children say they could be left homeless. State checks received through the Road to Independence program may be cut in half to less than $700 per month. That would leave young adults who have aged out of foster care with little cash left for an apartment, utilities, and food.
I've lived in many foster homes, mainly group homes. And when I aged out of foster care, it was just pack my bag the same day I was 18 and I had to go live on my own.
Advocates are urging lawmakers to obey existing laws that require the state to finance the transition of foster children into self-sufficiency. I'm Lisa Hayward, and that's a look at all your latest headlines. Hey, Broward County, this is your morning show. Tell us what's happening in your neighborhoods. Send us an email at feedback@southflorida.com. It is 6:07. Back now to Dave and Kristen on the couch.
High-stakes gamblers of Broward County, get ready to converge on the city of Hollywood. It is a relatively safe bet now that blackjack in Florida is here to stay.
That's right. Governor Charlie Crist and state lawmakers announced a landmark $1 billion deal Tuesday with the Seminole tribe that legalizes blackjack in Florida. So if passed, this deal would hand the Seminoles a 5-year franchise to operate blackjack tables at its 5 casinos, including the facility in Hollywood. The Seminoles also get the exclusive rights to Vegas-style slots north of Broward. The historic Hialeah Park would also be able to install slot machines. The deal still requires a vote from the House and Senate, which could come next week. We'll keep you posted. The Seminole Tribal Council will gather today in Hollywood to give its stamp of approval.
A big part of the agreement would also benefit the state budget. It would inject $435 million into next year's spending plan. That could help limit or put off cuts to public education and road building programs. You can read more about this in today's Sun Sentinel.
Definitely an interesting issue there, and another talker, if you will. Spirit Airlines imposing fees for carry-on bags. So basically, here's the deal. Check it out on the front page of the Sun Sentinel to get more in depth, or you can go to our website, southflorida.com. But basically, Spirit Airlines will charge $25 to $40 each way for carry-on bags. We're not talking about the checked bags. We're talking about carry-on bags like my beauty box. Things that everyone needs.
Everybody needs that.
Everyone needs a carry-on bag. So $25 to $40. And, you know, I think we can all agree that these extra fees for carry-ons are frustrating. So feel free to comment, sound off, vent about that this morning. We'll give you the numbers in just a minute. But we're opening it up to you as well and asking the question, what annoys you the absolute most about the whole flying experience? And, you know, I vented a little bit earlier in the show, but I wanted to hear your story, Dave, because you told us earlier. I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit.
Yeah.
And tell your story about you flew last week.
I flew Sunday. This was Sunday. I don't think I did anything wrong. You tell me.
It's a gender divide on this one.
I think women might not like this. Men will be like, totally, dude. So Sunday, I'm flying from Los Angeles to Miami. It's about a 5-hour flight, okay? Now, I did all the right things. I booked my flight far in advance so I can get my cushy aisle seat. I like my aisle seat. I get on the plane. Sit next to me is a guy in the middle seat. His wife is sitting in the row in front of us in the middle seat. So they asked me if I would give up my precious aisle seat for her middle seat so husband and wife can sit next to each other. And I said no. I said no, and I don't think I did anything wrong. Frankly, I think it was they were not happy. Frankly, I think it was a little rude for them to even ask me. I get it, you want to sit next to your wife, but it's 5 hours out of your life. I need my aisle seat. You should have planned ahead. That's all I'm saying.
Please comment on this, because there seems to be a gender divide. I think it's ridiculous. They want to sit next to each other. Give it up.
They have the rest of their lives to sit next to each other. I need to sleep.
We're getting wrapped, and the producers don't like Dave when you don't listen to when they say wraps. So here's the number, 877-5050-735. You can text us 23539. Email us, feedback@southflorida.com. Be our fan on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Tweet us at WSFL. What do you think about Dave's fiasco or just flying in general? What's the most annoying thing about the flying experience?
I still maintain I did nothing wrong. If you're waking up this morning and still have not done your taxes, don't worry. There is free help available in Broward County. What you need to do to qualify next.
What happens when President Obama gets hot in front of the crowd? He takes it off. Woohoo! So why is this such a big deal? We'll show you next.
You just woohooed the president.
I know, he's all.
You could be one of the first people to see a new movie starring Kristen Stewart and Dakota Fanning. This morning, we're giving you free tickets to see The Runaways before it hits theaters. Keep watching for your chance to win.
I want to see that movie so badly. It looks great. Hey, Weston, you're watching The Morning Show.
I'm going to be like Obama right now.
Morning Show weather reports brought to you by All Year Cooling. Save 30% on your FPL bill. Call 954 AC Repair.
President Obama is taking it off. Woohoo! Ladies go crazy. Well, maybe not taking it all off, but some of it, it's hard to be the president because
sometimes you got to take your clothes off. I mean,
no.
Look.
He's lately been getting cheers and even whistles for stripping down to his shirt.
Just his shirt.
Just his shirt.
Jeannie Mose takes a look at this unusual crowd pleaser.
Definitely rated PG, it's the presidential strip.
It's a little warm in here.
As the campaign to sell health care heated up,
It's a little hot up here.
off came the president's jacket.
I'm going to take off my jacket, guys, so if you want to do the same thing, it's a little hot.
And sometimes the crowd reacts as if he's hot.
This is,
There's no whistling at the president. Look how happy she looks. But then again, the crowd tends to cheer for anyone who takes off their jacket. Watch how they reacted to Joe Biden.
In my neighborhood,
No one snarky critic noted that at the exact moment Joe Biden took off his jacket, the Dow dropped 4 points.
in my neighborhood,
Of course, no president took it off, quite like Bill Clinton. In this jib-jab video, George Bush's crowds
You think it's all right if I take off my jacket?
tended to be more sedate about presidential stripping.
Thanks for coming out. I hope I didn't spill any sauce on my shirt after I had barbecue at the Whole Hog.
Remember how Bush supporters went whole hog attacking President Obama for taking his jacket off in the Oval Office and even putting his feet up on the historic desk. But Obama defenders struck back with their own photos.
Same desk, different shoes. If you don't recognize the guy, it's George W. Bush.
And then there's the matter of what to do with the jacket. President Obama either puts it on something or hands it to his aide, Reggie Love, along with his BlackBerry, or...
Joe, you gonna hold my coat?
You answer all the tough questions. I'll hold the coat.
just so it's just the coat.
Take it off. Take it all off. Nothing takes it off like
Obama.
And the sleeves. He's all like...
I think that all of a sudden showing an elbow is so risque. Oh my gosh. And the lady behind, like the lady's reactions are just like, who knew they were getting like the close-up?
It has inspired me, though. I'm going to just take my shoes off.
Oh my God.
That's right. It's getting hot in here. My feet need a breather. Oh, much better.
Whew. Anyway, we have a jam-packed show for you tomorrow. Here's a little bit of a teaser. The Boy Is Mine, cool off, ladies, it's just a shoe. Anyway, The Boy Is Mine singer and R&B superstar Monica will be here. Plus, we'll have two wives of professional basketball players to talk about their new VH1 show, NBA Wives. Cannot wait for that.
By the way, doing a show without shoes is way more comfortable. Also, we will preview a film festival here in South Florida just for kids.
Okay, Jeff, it's getting hot in here, so is it going to get hot outside is the question.
It is. Well, the question is, if you're checking out Precision Doppler, actually, you know what? I'm not feeling so comfortable here at all. Floor Director Adeline, if you don't mind. Thanks, buddy. There we go. Yeah, much more comfortable. I take off BlackBerry. Anybody? All right. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely the weather forecast looking a little bit better now. Fort Lauderdale down towards Miami. I tell you right now, it's looking real nice if you are going to be commuting at this exact minute. Let me pull, kind of zoom out just a little bit, show you what's going on. You got that high pressure hanging out right over here. It's been just hanging out, right? Not really moving anywhere too quickly. It's going to start to slide away. Now, as that happens, it's kind of like our little force field is getting out of here, and what's going to happen then is that's going to allow a cold/cool front to roll through. Now, over the course of the last 6 hours, things are looking real nice here. West Palm down to Miami, no real problems out here. Just some clouds that'll break up. Kind of the same thing we've been seeing the last couple of days here. Got some clouds in the overnight. They clear out. You've got plenty of sunshine. So your headlines, a little more cloud cover than what we've seen the last few days. Still a good beach day, though, but watch out for those rip currents if you are going to be heading to the beach. Moderate risk of rip currents. Those winds are going to actually be picking up later on tonight as well. So 72 degrees, winds out of the southeast. That southeast flow, 12 miles an hour. Down the road, it's considerably clearer down in Miami at 72 degrees. Winds are a little lighter, too. So for the kids in Hollywood, 71 degrees, a really warm morning at the bus. Notice the difference in kind of high and low temperatures. Not really all that much separating it. That's how you can tell summer's just waiting in the wings. Today we get to about 81 degrees. That high temperature is right about where it should be for this time of the year. And you can see this purple area right over here, UV index. That means we are still in the extreme levels. So let's put a number to that. How about an 8 out of 10 if you're heading to the beach in Fort Lauderdale? Similar situation right down the road in Hollywood, Florida as well. If you're heading to Hollywood Beach, still want to tell you to watch out for that rip current risk, basically because of those direct east to southeast winds right up along the coast. Definitely going to want to swim where there is a lifeguard out there. 71 degrees tonight, partly cloudy. Those winds going to start to gust even more, 15 even up to 20 miles an hour. And that extended forecast is looking like this. We continue to warm it up through Friday, 83 degrees. Here comes the cool front. I tell you this much, once that happens, it's going to basically kind of drop those humidity levels just a little bit. Saturday and Sunday looking to be real nice for this time of the year. All right, Mr. Traffic. Is it still pretty hot up there as well? How's the morning rush doing for you? Where's my
Good morning, Jeff. It's a cool ride so far across Broward County, but overnight tonight, reminding that the turnpike will be closed between I-595 and the Golden Glades in Miami-Dade for utility work. The closing is from 11 p.m. tonight until 4 a.m. tomorrow. Check your commute anytime, southflorida.com/traffic.
The clock is ticking down to tax day, as I'm sure you know, and there is free help, though, available for those who qualify. Listen up. The Internal Revenue Service is overseeing the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program for people earning less than $49,000 a year. Some of the tax preparers are college students who receive guidance from the IRS. We have a complete crew that they train each year. They train the crew, they update the crew on the law. So basically, people come in and they get free help. And obviously, the word free is important to a lot of people right now, so it is good news. And the IRS is also holding special Saturday office hours to help taxpayers in distress. People can talk to an IRS employee about economic hardship issues, making payment plans, or if they just want to figure out how to claim some of the special tax breaks available for unemployed and working people, as well as home buyers. So there is some good news.
And free.
And free.
Again, we like to throw that word around.
All right, the very complicated issues, obviously, with taxes. But for more information with tax prep help, visit our website, southflorida.com. We will do our best to make it easy for you. And while you're online, if you want to improve your credit score, for the details, go to southflorida.com/money.
Okay, the Internal Revenue Service, their volunteer income. Okay, everybody. So I feel like this is Anchorman right now. Okay, we're going to move on right now. Again, southflorida.com for all your tax help. Now we're going to talk about Hollywood a little bit. We'll talk more entertainment. We'll get into Idol. And singer Whitney Houston is in the hospital this morning. We're going to tell you what she's being treated for.
Good morning. I'd like to go on record, by the way, during the commercial break. I do, yes, agree with Mr. Dave Azer about the seat situation on the airlines. If you don't know what I'm talking about, best thing for you to do, head to our Facebook page and you will understand. Now you can continue. Everybody who doesn't agree, continue to fire those salvos at me as well as Dave here. But Dave did the right thing. Fort Lauderdale down towards Miami, looking A-OK out there. Precision Doppler HD, you can see that. It's also about 72 degrees. Winds out of the southeast, 12 miles an hour. Miami, it's 72. Next couple of days looking like this. Let's call it the next 3 days, why don't we? There's your Friday, a little bit of rain. What about the weekend? The rest of it? I'll let you know what's going on in a couple of minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
It's a very good ride through Broward right now. If your early commute involves I-595 coming eastbound all the way from Weston to US 1, it is a clear shot this morning. Accident-free, up to speed so far. Check that ride anytime, southflorida.com/traffic.
Some major star power wants to make Hollywood, Florida look a little more like Hollywood, California.
Need one of those signs.
Maybe. That could definitely help. Very similar. Okay, Jimmy Buffett, along with Bruce Willis and Sylvester Stallone, want to help transform the sleepy Hollywood beach into a tourist destination with proposals to build $200 million hotels. Today, city commissioners will debate on whether to allow Buffett's famed Margaritaville complex, complete with a tiki bar wrapped around a seaplane and a sailboat by the pool. Nice. Another contender, Planet Hollywood, backed by Sylvester Stallone and Bruce Willis. Tourists would be able to observe a beachside television studio and participate in a zip line. Both hotel proposals promise commercial rebirth, but some locals are calling the project, quote, Holly Weird.
I think it's great.
I like that.
Oh, man, I think it'd be so fun.
I know.
I don't understand. I mean, I know there are economic ramifications to this, but I just feel like more movies should be made here. I mean, the weather's great. It's cheaper to make them here than LA or New York. Let's bring the movie industry here. Let's do it.
I know, because even some movies that are based in Miami, so-called, they shoot a lot of those in Long Beach.
Yeah, in California. Yeah.
Okay, so this morning, singer Whitney Houston is in a Paris hospital. Here's what's going on. Apparently, she's suffering from nose and throat problems. A member of her entourage reported to a France news agency that she was also suffering from an infection, some sort of infection. The 46-year-old singer had already postponed the first date of her European tour because of a respiratory infection after a battle with drug addiction and the breakup of her 14-year-old marriage to Bobby Brown. Houston released a new album, I Look to You, in '09. Of course, rave reviews, and she has just, solidified that comeback. Coming up on the morning show, we're giving away free tickets, but not yet. Stay tuned to see Dakota Fanning's new movie, The Runaways, and Kristen Stewart also is in that movie. Anyway, stay tuned to get the tickets on us.
And have you ever given money to a panhandler or bought flowers on the side of the road? Now one Broward City is considering fines and even jail time if you do. We'll have the details next.
Wake up, South Florida. Hey, Fort Lauderdale. You are watching The Morning Show.
Wednesday hump day, and I don't even want to waste any time. Let's get into this hot topic. A lot of you are commenting on our Facebook wall, so here's what it's all about. Spirit Airlines is charging $25 to $40 for carry-on luggage. Carry-on luggage. So we asked you how you feel about that, and we just opened up the floor. What annoys you the absolute most about the flying experience? Is it the baggage fees? Is it people eating fake Mexican food that stinks right next to you? Is it the seating situation? What annoys you the most? Let's go to our Facebook wall.
Okay, Facebook comment from Joey Delanto. What bugs me the most about flying is the total lack of legroom. Could not agree more.
Amen, Joey. I hear you. Gosh, my legs never fit, especially when people put the seat back. More on that later. Phone call from Alicia. Good morning, Alicia. She says the uncomfortable seats, they need to make the seats bigger. Okay, some seats, some legroom problems. How about Lakeisha Thomas? Well, we got to talk about the food, right? Why do we have to have peanuts or cashews? Can't we have a sandwich or something? By the way, you can if you have $10. I know, right?
All the sandwiches you want. $10 a pop.
It's so annoying. Okay, so keep those comments coming. And also, I want to know how you feel about Dave's situation, because we've got a few, and it's like a battle on there.
Yeah, it's we're getting some good comments.
Okay, really quick, say it again.
The guys are all agreeing with me, by the way. So just again, very quickly, I was on a flight on Sunday. It was a 5-hour flight. That's very important. And I had an aisle seat. Guy next to me had a middle seat. His wife was in the row in front. She had a middle seat as well. They asked me if I would swap my aisle seat for her middle seat so they could sit next to each other. Thought about it for half a second, and I said no.
Okay, I'm against this. I think you should just sucked it up and did it, and a lot of people are on your side as well. Here are the numbers. What do you think? Events about flying, just do your thing. 877-5050-735. You can text us. 23539. Email us feedback@southflorida.com. You can be our fan on Facebook or follow us on Twitter @WSFL. I feel like I'm always being rushed, so I'm trying to talk really, really fast. We want you to be our fan on Facebook too. It's really easy. Just go to southflorida.com.
That was actually pretty quickly. So you go there, you scroll down, you click on the Facebook button in the middle of our homepage, and once that happens, you get your latest news, your hot topics in your news feed. So become a fan of the morning show, and then there's a little perk.
Yeah.
If you become a fan of the morning show, one day the floor might be yours. Quick shout out to our Facebook fan of the day,
Lisa.
Lisa. Woo. Congratulations, Lisa. Fan of the day. Thank you so much for being a fan and for watching.
I know, we appreciate you so much, Lisa. Have a fantastic Wednesday hump day. Okay, Jeff, it's weather time, so hopefully it's going to be beautiful, and you're still giving it up for Lisa, huh?
I'm still golf clapping right here. I'm getting ready for the Masters. I'm going to do a lot of golf clapping in the privacy of my own home since I don't have tickets to the Masters. But yes, congratulations. By the way, Lisa, your personalized forecast for the day coming up in mere moments. So I know you're going to be kind of sitting at the edge of your seat. Don't worry, it's coming up, though. Fort Lauderdale down towards, we got a little Pembroke Pines, got a little Coral Springs action. As you head north or south on Interstate 95, nothing to worry about whatsoever, at least in the form of precipitation. As you can see over the course of the last 6 hours, again, really just some clouds moving in with that easterly to southeasterly flow. Those are going to go away, though, for the most part. We're going partly cloudy, though. Maybe a little more cloud cover than what we've seen in the last few days, but still, for the kids, a comfortable wait at the bus stop for your second day back in school. Lauderdale, I know. Hey, the weekend's almost here. Your day's looking like this, though. 78 degrees by the time we get to lunch. It's going to be beautiful. Grab some friends and enjoy what Mother Nature has to offer. However, this streak of gorgeous weather, well, let's be honest, it can't last forever. I'm going to let you know when we got a little bump in the road to get over. And then, you know what? The weekend forecast is coming up in a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
Well, good morning, Jeff. No bumps in the road for drivers in Broward County this morning. All the roadways are accident-free and up to speed as far as the major lines go. We have some moderate volume across 95 and 595, but nothing to slow you down so far this morning. The roads are all looking very good. In Miami-Dade County, the major roadways, they're also accident-free right now. We're seeing a little more volume just where you'd expect to find it on the Palmetto Expressway coming southbound out of 122nd Street. Also, the Dolphin 836 building a little bit eastbound. And we do have one surface road closed, a police incident. This is northeast 187th Avenue at 25th Avenue. That intersection is closed. That's 187th Street, 25th Avenue. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is the place to check when you're heading out. Kristen, Dave, over to you.
Mr. Traffic, thank you so much. We have a lot of news to get to this morning, so let's go to Lisa Hayward. She's standing by live at the Sun Sentinel News Desk. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Kristen and Dave. Good morning, South Florida. An update to breaking news we brought you Tuesday morning. The search is on for the suspect who shot and killed a Nova Southeastern University professor during a home invasion in Plantation. Police say just after midnight, an intruder burst into Dr. Joseph Morrissey's home, bound him and his wife, and then set the house on fire. The professor's body was found on the patio. His wife, Linda, managed to escape with their young son, who slept through the crime. Both are okay this morning. A neighbor says the couple was taken to a bank and forced to withdraw money from an ATM. Morrissey was internationally recognized for his groundbreaking work using heat and radio waves to attack cancer cells. The next time you open your wallet to a panhandler on the streets of Oakland Park, you may want to think again. Giving money to beggars or street vendors may soon be against the law. City leaders will vote tonight on whether or not drivers should be fined, even jailed, if they give money to someone on the street in Oakland Park. Under the proposal, beggars and vendors will also be fined or jailed for approaching drivers on the roads.
If they want to beg for money, they shouldn't be doing it in the streets, because I'd hate to be the person who hit someone and killed it, because I'd be living with that for the rest of my life.
Some city commissioners say the point of the law is to keep pedestrians safe and avoid accidents. A Haitian baby pulled from the rubble of the devastating earthquake in Haiti is now back with her parents. Nadine de Vilma and Junior Alexis were beaming when they were reunited with their daughter Jenny. Baby Jenny was found 4 days after the massive quake in January. She was flown to South Florida, where she was treated for a skull fracture, broken ribs, and other injuries. After learning Jenny was in Florida, mom and dad underwent weeks of leave legal maneuvering and DNA tests to confirm she was, in fact, their daughter. I'm Lisa Hayward at 6:37, and those are just some of the top stories making headlines right now. The Morning Show is your show, Broward County. Send us an email at feedback@southflorida.com to tell us what's happening in your neighborhood. Now back over to Dave and Kristen.
Lisa, thank you so much. It's time to give away free tickets.
Great.
Your chance to see the movie The Runaways, starring Dakota Fanning and Kristen Stewart. Rave reviews on this one.
Yeah, getting a lot of good buzz. All right, so here's the deal. Right now, be our third caller to 877-5050-735. You must be 18 or older and live in Monroe, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. So once again, the tickets are for 2 admit 2 passes. So that is a total of 4 tickets to see The Runaways at Sunrise Cinema's Gateway 4th Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Now, don't worry. If you aren't our third caller, there will be some more chances to win throughout today's show. So good luck. Get calling. And to see the rules of this contest and other giveaways here on the Morning Show, just go to southflorida.com/contest.
Yeah, Dakota Fanning, all grown up, by the way. Gosh, I want to see that movie. Okay, coming up, Fort Lauderdale may be getting a facelift. The family-friendly plans for the empty Fort Lauderdale Stadium. We'll talk about that.
6:41 on the Morning Show, where another one indeed bites the dust.
Bites the dust.
David, Kristen here with you. Are you a social animal? You like to party and have a good time? You know, do you let loose? Well, according to doctors, chances are your friends are the same way. According to a new study published in the latest edition of Annals of Internal Medicine, the drinking habits of the people in your social group may play a major part in determining how much you tip the bottle. Study investigators found that a person was 50% more likely to drink heavily if they are directly connected to a heavy drinker, and 36% more likely to drink heavily if a friend of a friend drinks heavily. According to the authors, your friends can affect your health just as much as your family history or your genetic background when it comes to drinking. Interesting.
Is that new information, though? I'm like,
well, I guess sort of some of it is common sense.
Who you hang around, you know, you're more likely to have their tendencies. I don't know, but I guess we were just brilliant ahead of time, and we just came up with that on our own. Weird. Okay, let's talk about weather. Jeff Melkars, I saw you just tweeted something about all good things must come to an end, but today for the weather is not the day.
Today is not the day, Kristen.
Not the day.
By the way, thanks for following me on the old,
no problem.
Twitter. I appreciate that.
You're on Twitter?
What is that?
Follow you.
Anyways, yes. Social networking said, as Kristen pointed out, today's not the day to end the streak. We've had an unbelievable streak, roughly 8-9 days of gorgeous weather, and that streak will come to an end. But today is not the day. As you can see, Precision Doppler HD sweeping clear Fort Lauderdale down towards Pembroke Pines, Hollywood. No real problems at all out there. We could zoom out a little bit, show you the rest of 95, and you will continue to see no problems. We got a little high pressure system, kind of just, it's been hanging out over the Atlantic for days now. Going to start to move away. As that happens, it's going to kind of open us up to the potential for just some shower activity. Not a whole lot of moisture associated with the front that's going to be coming. We'll talk more about that in a second. Last 6 hours, you see, we do have some clouds making their way out over the Atlantic, but for the most part, it's looking really, really nice. So your big headlines, a little more cloud cover today than we've seen the last few. Good beach day still, though. I won't say great, but still a good beach day. Say you've got the day off, not a problem at all. That is, we want you to watch out for those rip currents because the winds are going to pick up coming from the east to the southeast as we go through the next 24 hours. All right. We're right about where we should be this time of the year. Average high temperature, 81 degrees, and right now it's 72 degrees. Winds out of the southeast about 12 miles an hour. So you'll notice that not a huge difference between the low and the high. That's kind of what happens as we get closer to the summer, which, believe it or not, is right around the corner, especially when you talk about South Florida things. 70 degrees for the kids out there in Plantation. Couple of clouds, no need for that jacket, though, not at all. Don't worry about that. So we're talking about these winds, right? Got that high pressure clockwise flow around it. Here's the next 24 hours, and you can see as we go into the late afternoon, into the overnight, you can see those winds picking up a little bit, especially to the south of Fort Lauderdale. So for you boaters out there, winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 knots, just a moderate chop out there. And 81, that's what we're going to top out at. The high temperature is right about where it should be for this time of the year. Now you take a look at Futurecast HD from about 8 in the morning till your lunchtime. Plenty of sunshine. Grab a friend, 2, 8, 12, whatever. Make it a baker's dozen. When was the last time you heard that, huh? I'm telling you to make it a baker's dozen for lunch today. Yeah, there's going to be plenty of sunshine out there. And then as you take it through the afternoon on the way home, really no problems at all as well. Some clouds maybe making their way in from the Atlantic and the West Coast, but really not worried about any substantial precipitation. So for my backyard forecast today for our dear good friends in Lauderhill, 80 degrees, a perfect morning to grab that jog. Tonight we get down to 71 degrees, partly cloudy. Here come those winds. They pick up a little bit in the overnight hours. And the extended forecast looking like this. We continue the warming trend that we've seen all week long before a cool front rolls through, kind of bulldozes some of that humidity out, paving the way for a real nice Saturday and Sunday, it looks like, with temperatures right around 80 degrees. All right, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Thank you, Jeff. A very good ride right now through Broward County. Major roadways all rolling well right now. They're still accident-free. So if you're heading out right now, nothing to slow you down. Check that ride anytime, though. southflorida.com/traffic.
A national water park company has its eyes on Fort Lauderdale. A development group is proposing a $110 million water park, hotel, and retail sports destination. The complex would be in place of Fort Lauderdale Stadium and neighboring Lockhart Stadium. It remains empty after the Baltimore Orioles moved their spring training base to Sarasota. There are some other ideas, though. The owner of Miami's pro soccer team wants to transform the stadium into a soccer academy, and the Federal League wants to open a baseball school, so who knows what will happen. But
I'm just saying, our softball team could use a new venue.
Your Sunday's company softball team?
Yeah, we could use a fancy new place to play. If it's just sitting there, we will gladly play there.
Good luck with that.
Thank you. Fingers crossed. Oh, California's medical board is moving forward to take Dr. Conrad Murray's medical license. But what else is going on around Tinseltown? Michelle Wright reports for today's Hollywood Minute.
California Attorney General Jerry Brown says the state's medical board will begin the process of stripping Michael Jackson's doctor of his medical license. The board had asked the courts to suspend Dr. Conrad Murray's license as a condition of his bond on an involuntary manslaughter charge in Jackson's death. But Monday, a judge delayed that decision until June. Brown says Murray's treatment of Jackson demonstrated a, quote, serious lack of judgment. Brown also spoke out Tuesday on the death of actor Corey Haim. The AG said the former child actor obtained 553 dangerous drugs in the past year, including some just days before his death. Brown said Haim was a, quote, poster child for doctor shopping for dangerous drugs. The coroner has not ruled on what killed the 38-year-old Haim, who had admitted to drug problems in the past. John Gosselin is planning to sue his ex-wife, Kate Gosselin, for custody of their 8 children, previously seen on the reality show John and Kate Plus 8. Gosselin's lawyer says John believes Kate's participation in the ABC show Dancing with the Stars is keeping her from their children. Kate's attorney has called the allegation reckless and false.
What's wrong, Dave?
You know, honestly, it's sad.
Would you like to talk about it?
I would like to lie down on the couch and vent about this. This really, like, all jokes aside, all jokey, this is really sad.
John and Kate's situation?
Yeah, it really honestly is. I mean, you know, it was all fun and games, and John's dating this person and Kate's doing this, but now it's like you got these 8 kids involved, where you have the mom who's off trying to be famous. Let's be honest, she's trying to be famous, and so is the dad, frankly. And what about the kids? Now they're going to fight for custody for these kids. I mean, it really makes me angry.
You know, I was watching Dancing with the Stars this week, and they were talking about how the contestants practice 6 hours a day, 6 hours per day. So I was wondering, how is Kate doing this? How is she seeing the
kids?
And
you think she'd be a good dancer by now?
Yeah, which she definitely is not. Okay, coming up next on the morning show, do you want to get your kids to read and have fun doing it? Reading really is fun. We're talking to a pro about who gets his cues from the happiest place on earth. The pro gets his cues from Disney. Hey, Coral Springs, thank you so much for watching the morning show. Looking good so far outside. We'll be back.
That is just beautiful as the sun comes up over the Atlantic Ocean. That's over Fort Lauderdale. You see a little more cloud cover, and that's going to be what we see today into tomorrow, quite frankly, as high pressure moves away. Cool front's going to come through, but right there you can see those clouds. The next 7 days, not looking too bad, all right? So Friday, we've got a front that's going to come through. Not a lot of moisture associated with it. Clearing the way, though, for a real nice Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures just about where they should be for this time of the year, right around 80. Hey, Mr. Traffic, how's that morning rush treating you?
Well, Broward drivers heading to Miami-Dade on I-75 take note. Southbound accident at Miami Gardens Drive as you head toward the Palmetto. It's reported as a hit and run. Minimum delays through the area. Check your ride anytime. southflorida.com/traffic.
All right, and fantastical books like Harry Potter and the Twilight series whisk young adults into new, intriguing worlds, all while helping them develop one of the most necessary skills in life. Well, with me now is the author of many such books, Ridley Pearson, who's premiering his latest book today, Kingdom Keepers 3, Disney and Shadow, and he's live from where else? One of my most favorite places on the planet, Ridley, Epcot Center at Disney World. I mean, now here's the key, Ridley. I love the place. I actually get mocked for loving the place so much, but
I love it too.
And I love you for that, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. But I tell you, the place is so gigantic, it seems like plot points could just be endless. How do you choose what you're going to use to put in the book?
Well, I'm with you. I think that it is endless, and one of the things that Disney allows me is full access to the parks. So for the Kingdom Keepers, I get to go backstage and go on rides like Soarin' or Test Track and see things that the common visitor never sees and then write about them. So, but you're right, I wrote Kingdom Keepers 3 about Epcot, and now Kingdom Keepers 4, which I'm in the process of writing, is also about Epcot because it's just endless here.
So Ridley, what you're saying is I better start penning my next book so I can get all this access, because believe me, I'm about to start doing that. I mean, you talk about all these things. You're talking about backstage. These are things that not everybody can see, as you pointed out. How much of what you write, this is what I want to know. I'm trying to get into your head here. How much of what you write is true about the parks and what happens backstage, and what really is fiction?
Well, that's the fun part for me. I mean, what I do is, by doing this research and going in and seeing this stuff, I embellish it in the books, but I get all these emails from kids saying, is any of this real? And I write back and say, it's all real. I've just fictionalized it. For instance, in the Magic Kingdom, I went on Small World when it was shut down just under emergency lighting. And I was with an Imagineer, just the two of us, and I could have sworn one of the dolls moved, and I jumped about a foot in the boat, and I went, yeah, one of the dolls moved. And the guy said, the doll did not move, Ridley. Well, in my book, I have all the dolls move, and they dive off and into the water and attack these kids. The premise of the Kingdom Keepers is that these 5 teenagers get into the parks after dark and do battle with the Disney villains. The Disney villains have been long overlooked, and now's their time.
Wow. All right, seriously, I am Floor Director Adeline, get over there. I want you waiting in line at Borders to buy this book immediately. I'll be reading them. So you write for adults and children. Honestly, what is the difference between your two writing styles?
You know, there isn't much difference. I'm really a storyteller at heart. I like to read books and write books that move really fast, have fun characters, interesting characters. I don't write down to the kids. I think the best way to compare it is that my adult books are more R-rated and my kid books are PG-rated. They're just a little cleaner, a little smoother, but you know, I have a ton of fun. I write with your Miami local Dave Barry, a series about Peter Pan and how a boy became Peter Pan. And again, Dave and I don't write down to our audience. We just have a lot of fun with it and hope the reader will.
I tell you, and you mentioned Dave Barry, and I know you play some music, and I'm a drummer, and that is awesome, and there's more information on that on our website about your band. I wish I could talk to you all day. You're literally sitting at one of my favorite places. I've seen Illuminations, a fireworks show there, probably 50, 60, 70 times. So basically, I'm going to start writing my own children's book, not for competition. Maybe we can co-write together.
Don't you dare.
Yeah, don't you dare. All right, thanks so much for your time this morning. And for more family-friendly fun, all you got to do is check out southflorida.com. And you know what? While you're online, you want to know how to give your kids a head start in school? Of course you do. Well, read what every parent should do on southflorida.com/family.
Coming up next at 7.
Yeah, plan on sending your children to summer camp. Almost time to think about that. We'll tell you the benefits they will get from the experience.
That's right, and we've been giving away tickets all morning long for a sneak peek of the new movie, The Runaway. And we won't stop. Next hour, listen for your cue to call. Not yet, but soon.
Good morning. You're taking a live look outside at downtown Fort Lauderdale. Looks like a splendid morning.
I know. It looks like it's going to be beautiful. I'm happy to be back here in Florida, I have to say, because I'm tired of the shaking on the West Coast, the earthquakes, and I'm happy to see a beautiful day today. So,
well, we arranged a beautiful day just for you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
It is the morning show. It's, I don't know, about 10 seconds shy of 7 a.m. So if you set the alarm for 7 a.m., good news, you can stay in bed for about 4 more seconds.
Oh, don't do that.
Time to get up.
Wake up. It's going to be a great day. It's going to be beautiful. We'll talk weather in just a little bit, but let's get a look at what else we have coming up this hour on the morning show. Right now at 7, Josie Ratley's condition is improving. That's the good news. Her family's lawyer says the severely beaten Deerfield Beach teenager is now breathing on her own, and that's not all.
And hear why the man accused of a Thanksgiving Day massacre is hoping a judge will shield evidence in the case from the public.
Now on to the beautiful day that I mentioned, Jeff. Let's talk about the numbers. I say sunny skies, 80 degrees.
Oh, pretty good. It's like you never left. But as Dave pointed out, you know, we've kind of put all of our ducks in a row to get this day for you. I mean, if you think we can just call these in, it's not that easy. There's paperwork involved. There's emailing with Mother Nature. She's not always so quick to get back to us. But we did it for you because that's how happy we are to have you back. And now the rest of South Florida gets to enjoy your day, Kristen, as well. So from Fort Lauderdale down or up towards Coral Springs, Hollywood, North Miami, looking fine. Precision Doppler HD. Sweet and clear. How about the last 6 hours, though? Well, guess what? Barely a drop of precipitation. In fact, no precipitation at all. It's just been an unbelievable streak here of beautiful, beautiful weather. Lauderhill, this is for you, kids. 70 degrees. It's your second day back in school. You're probably still trying to figure out where spring break went. Well, lucky for you, Kristen Anderson's back, so it's going to be a great day, which means a comfortable wait out there at the bus stop if you're going to be hanging out there. And you know what? A beautiful lunchtime forecast for you, too. 78 degrees. We'll warm it up to, just like Kristen said, about 80, 81 degrees today. What about the rest of the week? We got a little bit of a bump in the road to tell you about before we get to the weekend, and I'll give you your full 7-day forecast coming up in mere minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. Fortunately, there's not a whole lot to talk about in Broward County right now. We are seeing some volume just where you'd expect to find it on 95 and 595 heading eastbound, but it's all up to speed right now. Moderate volume is the word of the day for the early morning anyway, but accident-free is more importantly for our major roads in Broward County. Similar in Dade County, we do have mostly a good ride in Dade. We do have an I-75 note for any of the commuters heading out of Broward County. A southbound accident 75 at Miami Gardens Drive. That's where a lot of motorists from Broward head to the Palmetto Expressway. There's a reported hit and run there. Won't slow you down too much. And there's a police incident on the surface street, northeast 187th Street, 25th Avenue. That intersection is closed for right now. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is the place to check when you're heading out. Kristen, Dave, over to you.
All right, Mr. Traffic, now time for a look at all of your latest headlines. So we'll check in with Lisa Hayward at the Sun Sentinel News Desk. Take it away, Lisa.
Hi, Dave and Kristen. Good morning, South Florida. The Deerfield Beach Middle School girl who was attacked on campus 3 weeks ago is now breathing on her own. The Morning Show's Kristen Kane is live in the studio with the latest. Chris?
Well, Lisa, even more good news for beating victim Josie Lou Ratley. Today marks 3 weeks she's been in a medically induced coma at Broward General Medical Center. And according to her family's lawyer, she's doing very well, and he's hoping today or tomorrow is the day she wakes up.
Josie Lou Ratley's lawyer, Rick Friedman, says the 15-year-old is now breathing on her own. She's been taken off the ventilator. She's continuing to show signs of progress, and she's expected to wake up any day now.
Pneumonia's gone, fever's gone, infections are gone. I mean, all positive signs. Ever since Sunday, since Easter Sunday, things have been really upbeat. Mom's, you know, I mean, positive, I mean, smile on her face for the first time in 3 weeks.
Josie was attacked on her Deerfield Beach Middle School campus on March 17th. 15-year-old Wayne Tracy is charged with attempted murder. He's accused of stomping on Ratley's head with steel-toed boots over an insensitive text message. Prosecutors have until April 19th to decide whether Tracy will be charged as an adult or as a juvenile.
And there are a number of fundraisers for Josie Lou Ratley being held around Broward. Tomorrow, a bike night benefit will be held at Mugshots Bar and Grill in Margate from 7:30 to 11:30. The restaurant is at 1047 North State Road 7. And this Sunday, CJ's Draft House in Deerfield Beach will be holding a fundraiser from noon to 4. Don't forget, donations to the Josie Lou Ratley Fund can be made at Enia Wachovia Bank. And check out southflorida.com for all the latest updates on Josie's condition. Live in the studio, I'm Kristen Kane for The Morning Show.
New this morning, a Coral Springs teenager has been arrested, charged with 25 counts of possession of child pornography. 18-year-old Brandon Morgan was taken to the Broward County Main Jail late Tuesday on $10,000 bond. Investigators say the images were found on the internet during a routine investigation. They traced the images back to Morgan's computer. 3 computers were seized from his home, along with several digital cameras and a disposable camera. Detectives say some of the images involved children as young as 4 years old. Former Miramar Commissioner Fitzroy Salesman is now a convicted felon. On Tuesday, jurors found him guilty of bribery and extortion. The video showed during the trial shows Salesman accepting $3,000 from FBI agents, posing as contractors in exchange for steering city contracts their way. Salesman faces up to 60 years in prison. He's scheduled to be sentenced in July. Salesman was one of 3 Broward officials caught up in a corruption sting last year. The other 2 reached plea agreements of up to 3 years in prison. A judge is now deciding which evidence against the Thanksgiving Day massacre suspect can be released to the public. Judge John Hoy says he'll consider each item individually before deciding on its release. Paul Marriage's defense team is requesting that key items of evidence be withheld from the public. This includes Marriage's statements to investigators, witness lists, and domestic violence records. They say releasing the documents would affect their client's right to a fair trial. Marriage is accused of killing his aunt and his twin sisters and his cousin's 6-year-old daughter. Extra police officers are set to be on patrol throughout Hallandale Beach on Friday night as part of a DUI enforcement operation. Police will be looking for drivers that may be impaired and under the influence of drugs or alcohol. The DUI patrol will be active from 11 o'clock Friday night until 3 o'clock Saturday morning. Officers will roam the city instead of setting up checkpoints. I'm Lisa Hayward at 7:06, and that's a look at all your latest headlines. For instant updates, check out the breaking news headlines on southflorida.com. We also want to hear what you would like to see covered. Tell us what's happening in your neighborhood. Just send us an email at feedback@southflorida.com. Now it's back to Dave and Kristen on the couch.
It's a lot, Lisa. Hey, coming up on the morning show, another Lisa. Dr. Lisa Paz is back to tell us if there's truth to the saying, men are from Earth, women are from Mars. Was that not it?
That's not how it goes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus.
Yeah.
That's how it goes. And why women don't have to feel so guilty about being guilty anymore.
And South Florida is no stranger to the world of reality TV, but reality TV has never seen South Florida.
Whoa, that was creepy. Wine lovers, check this one out. You don't have to fly to Germany to enjoy a glass of your favorite vino. A rep from one of the oldest wine estates will be here to tell us all about one of my personal faves, Riesling. Good morning, Hillsborough Beach. You're watching The Morning Show.
Morning Show weather is brought to you by Honda. You can depend on your Honda dealer for great leases and low financing.
7:10. You're taking a live look inside our control room. Hey, Jay, sit down.
What's going on in there?
Jay?
Yeah.
Jay, sit down, buddy.
Well, it's early. He's trying to get hyped up, you know.
All right. Jay, if you feel like you can do the show standing up, by all means, continue to stand.
They look so busy in there. I'm wondering if it's fake busy or real busy.
They look like they're just not even listening to us.
Because Juan keeps pointing at miscellaneous things in the left corner. I'm not sure what that is, but anyway, keep up the good work, guys and gals.
You just keep pointing at stuff, Juan. Yeah, whatever. Point, take that, move that. Run with that.
Okay, we want you to be our fan on Facebook. It's really easy. Just go to our website, southflorida.com. Click on the Facebook button in the middle of the homepage, and then you're our fan on Facebook. And I understand when I was gone, you guys got like 1 billion fans.
We did. We got a billion.
What does that say about me on the show?
It says that we did it for you. It was like our homage to Kristen. Yeah, we're over 1,000 now. You know, we do want to thank all of you who helped us get over 1,000 fans. We started this, I don't know, about a month ago, our Facebook fan page, and now we're up over 1,000, but we're not done yet.
Yeah, we're not. So become our fan on Facebook. And if you do that, maybe, just maybe, if you're lucky, you can become our fan of the day one day. So shout out to Lisa Aguirre. Today is your lucky day, Lisa. Congratulations. Thank you so much. We do appreciate you watching, and we wish you a fantastic, fantabulous Wednesday hump day.
A fantastic. That's what you did, right? You did it on purpose?
I like that, yes.
I knew it. I knew it, Kristen.
I'm so
witty. Tomorrow, beyond belief. Tomorrow's show is going to be one of those shows that's jam-packed. We're just throwing a bunch of stuff in there, making it happen.
Yeah, you know that song, The Boy Is Mine?
No.
Monica?
Never heard
Monica?
of it.
Anyway, well, that wasn't a good rendition. It was, you know, but R&B superstar Monica will be here. You know that dueling song with Brandy and Monica?
I do know this song, yes.
Anyway, besides Monica, we're also having 2 wives of professional basketball players to talk about their new VH1 show, NBA Wives. It's supposed to be really good, behind-the-scenes look at NBA Wives. And we'll preview a film festival right here in the SFL just for kids.
You know, what's funny about the Monica thing, That Boy Is Mine, I always thought that was Monica Lewinsky and it was about Bill Clinton. But I guess now, come to find out, that's not true.
Not even a little bit, way off.
I thought it was like her battle with Hillary, but I don't know. Well, a new reality TV show is making its way to South Florida. The soon-to-premiere action-packed show, Danger Coast, follows the Miami-Dade County's Marine Operations Bureau as they fight to save lives on the water while risking their own.
Yeah, live from the SFL, Eugene Ramirez is patrolling Biscayne Bay with the cast. Eugene on the water, looking good. What's up?
Hey, that's right, Kristen and Dave. Good morning. You know, if you think all the action happens in downtown Miami or South Beach, you're absolutely wrong. Lots of action and adventure happens out here in Biscayne Bay and even further away, and these guys know it firsthand. They're the firefighters, paramedics of Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, and might I add now the stars of the new show, Danger Coast. Your show premieres this Friday on CMT. You must be very excited, right, Nick?
It is. It's thrilling, you know, just the exposure and getting to teach people about what we do out here. It's awesome.
Tell me a little bit about what you guys do out here, because sometimes we see you guys around when we're out on our boats and we think, look at these guys just patrolling the water, but it really gets tough out there, and sometimes you really risk your own lives trying to save other people's lives, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have all the capabilities of a land-based rescue and a land-based fire truck, and we're out here, and there's not a lot of backup, you know, so we're on scene by ourselves for a long time before, you know, Coast Guard shows up or FWC. It can be tense. You know, we always work through it. We adapt real quick. We have a ton of tools and we have a ton of training.
Yeah, I was seeing all this stuff that you have behind you. This is actually part of your morning routine. And you're checking out all your equipment. What kind of preparation do you guys have, and what do you have on board before you go out there to take care of some of these emergencies?
Everything's different. Each call dictates a different setup. You know, for a fire call, we have a deck configuration with hose lines and dewatering and foam setups. Medical calls, again, totally different. We can set up the deck to do a helicopter hoist if we have to. Backboards, you know, everything just on dispatch. We start listening and we start gearing up for each call.
All right, I'm gonna let you go ahead and get back to work there. I'm gonna go into the cabin and talk to Captain Mike Parker, because the show starts Friday, but they've actually been shooting the show for almost 2 years now here about Fireboat 1, which I guess is the star of Danger Coast. So Captain Parker, why don't you come over here and join me? Tell me about the experience. You never set out to be a TV star. You were thrown into this role. What's that been like for you?
You know, it's been really something very interesting for all of us. 2C Media, the guys that are shooting the program, have been great. They're living with us 24 hours a day. They go out on every call that we go out on. And, you know, we've enjoyed the experience. We enjoy showcasing the fire department, the fireboat operation, and it's been a real good experience.
Yeah, we're seeing some video now of just little glimpses of the episodes. We don't want to give too much away, but this is real live action stuff. This is really reality TV. As a matter of fact, you guys had a big call last night. You want to tell us a little bit about that one?
Yes, yesterday afternoon, actually. They had a 57-foot yacht offshore here of Key Biscayne, and it was a fully involved fire. And it just so happened we had the film crew and a news channel on the boat, and they went out and they filmed the whole thing as the guys were going into action.
And I've heard that aside from fires, there's also been instances where you've dealt with cruise ship passengers. What kind of other calls do you guys get here at Miami-Dade Fire Rescue's Marine Operations Unit?
Well, we provide a service to the cruise ship industry. The Coast Guard will generally call us if they have somebody that's sick or injured on a cruise ship and needs to go to the hospital, rather than the cruise ship coming into port and having to spend thousands and thousands of dollars. We will go offshore. We will take the person, initiate advanced life support care, and get them to a hospital via a land unit on shore. We run all types of trauma and medical calls, just like the rescue trucks out on the land side. And, you know, we're basically a rescue truck and a fire truck all wrapped up into one, floating on the water.
And you guys have a lot of training before you get out on the water. I was talking to some of the other crew members here. They were telling me that you guys are EMT certified. They're firefighters. They need to be divers. They need to know how to use the boats as well, have special certifications. Is anybody cut out for this?
Well, you know, some people are, some people aren't, just like anything else. And we do require many certifications for these positions.
Oh, gosh.
And that's all you can see of the show.
Honestly, I want to see that show so badly. It's going to be great because, I mean, it's not like The Hills where you can set up, you know, you set up manufactured scenes. You know, that's like right up there going out on their calls. You know, so I can't wait to see that. Danger Coast, by the way, premieres this Friday on CMT. CMT, weird, but very excited to see the show.
And really brave people. So
oh my gosh, yes.
It will be nice to actually watch a reality show with them as opposed to John and Kate or something like that.
Or a healthy mix of both.
Yeah, okay, fine. Every now and then, we need a little John and Kate in our lives. And every now and then, we need a little Jeff in our lives, especially when he has good news.
Appreciate that, by the way. And Eugene, if you're back and you're listening, by the way, that's what happens when you don't rap when the producer asks. They just pull the plug on it. Game over, buddy. Better luck next hit, huh? Precision Doppler HD, it is looking clear, by the way. Fort Lauderdale down towards North Miami. We got Coral Springs is looking good. You want to see a little more? Let's role play this one out. I'm not exactly sure where you work, but maybe you're in Fort Lauderdale and you got to go a little north and you're like, Jeff, guess what? I can't see. You know what, for you, because you asked so nicely, how about that? Boynton Beach, you going there? Okay, great. Well, guess what? Got the high pressure. It's hanging out right over yonder. It's going to start to move away. What that's going to do for us is basically it's going to sort of increase winds, and then it's going to allow a little bit of a cool front to roll through. Last 6 hours, though, had a little more cloud cover over in Fort Lauderdale down as you head to the south in Miami. Pretty clear for the most part, but here's the big headlines. A little more cloud cover than what we've seen the last few days as some low-level moisture starts to move its way in. A good beach day. I'm not going to say great. I'm not even going to say excellent, but I'm going to say good, because you got to take the fact that it's going to be partly sunny out there, partly cloudy if you want to be not an optimist like myself. But you got to watch out for those rip currents out there. So if you are heading to the beach, make sure you use the buddy system swim where there is a lifeguard present. 71 degrees right now in Fort Lauderdale. Pretty nice warm morning. 71 in Miami as well. Winds out of the east-southeast about 7 miles an hour. Hey, Hollywood, here's your last look at your school bus forecast. Really warm morning at the bus, all things considered, really nice. We're going to warm up to 81. Look at that, only about a difference of 10 degrees. It's going to feel nice, though, and the high temperature is right about where it should be for this time of the year. How about a backyard forecast? Is that what you need? This one's for you, Coral Springs, 81 degrees as well. So the great weather, it continues today. Yeah, we got quite the streak going on. As you can see, UV index, there's going to be plenty of sunshine right around here, though, as I said, maybe not as much as we've seen. So let's translate that into a number for you. 8 out of 10, still pretty good. You can put that one in the bank, use the vacation day if you got it. But like I said, now for the second time, watch out for those rip currents. Very serious. Want to make sure you one are a strong swimmer and use the buddy system there. 71 degrees we get down to tonight, partly cloudy. Those winds going to start to pick up a little bit, 15 to 20 miles an hour. And here we go with the extended forecast. We continue the warm up. Warmest, most humid area or period of the week is going to be right before that front comes through. So we're going to go up with about 83 degrees. Then comes some showers, and then Saturday and Sunday setting up to be pretty nice, right around 80 with sunny skies. All right, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
Oh, we have the first Broward accident of the morning. This is southbound I-95 after Sheridan Street, not believed to be affecting the travel lanes. Limited delays through the area. Check your ride anytime, southflorida.com/traffic.
Coming up, the end of the school year is closing in sooner than you may think. If you're trying to figure out what your kids will do while you're at work, we've got some great ideas for summer camp.
And at the bottom of the hour, new word from the Fed on the importance of jobs creation and why many believe it's still important to own a home despite the down market.
about that wake-up weather. You know what? Good news for you. The streak of fantastic weather continues today here throughout South Florida. You can see really nothing going on at all on Precision Doppler HC. Let me talk about what is going on, though. High pressure going to start to slide away, and then eventually, we're going to have some possible showers. Again, a front's going to come through, but not a lot of moisture associated with it. You can see the last 6 hours. This is what we got going on. West Palm down to Fort Lauderdale, down to Miami is looking A-OK. Here are your big weather headlines. We got a little more cloud cover today, a good beach day, but we're going to be talking about rip current risks. Your full forecast for the rest of the week is coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
It's still a good ride, Jeff. We are monitoring the first Broward accident of the morning, southbound I-95 after Sheridan Street, not causing any significant delays right now. Dave, over to you.
Thanks, Mr. Traffic.
They're my two favorite wines.
Thank you, Mr. Traffic. Well, parents, make sure you listen up to this one because the time to figure out what to do with your kids this summer is now. And starting today, the morning show is your all-access guide to all things camp. Child psychologist Dr. Evan Melman is here to tell you why camp might help your little one blossom. I got to tell you, some of the best memories of my childhood were summer camp. Are you a product of summer camp?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so much fun, right?
Day camp and sleepaway camp. Oh,
absolutely, yeah, myself as well. So in your opinion, what are some of the benefits of sending your kids to camp?
Well, there's a lot of great benefits about summer camp. You get social skills development, which is the first thing, where kids get to form, they get to work together to form a common goal. Then there's obviously the increase in self-esteem. Kids get to do things where they get to feel good about themselves. They do things that they like, different interests that they have, and of course the benefit of exercise and physical activity as well.
Right, because depending upon the camp you go to, but you're outside all day long running around. I mean, you're going to be in shape when you go to camp.
Yeah. Most camps are outdoor activity camps.
All right, so parents want their kids to go to camps, but sometimes the kids don't want to go. Is it a situation where a parent should force a child to go to camp?
Nah, parents should definitely not force their children to go to the camp. What they should do, though, is they should find activities that their kids like. They should do camps that match their temperament, their personality, and find interests that their kids like. And they should find camps that maybe a kid knows one other child, especially if it's a shy child. And actually, the parents shouldn't choose a camp that the parents want to do. They should choose a camp that the kids want to do. So they should work together with the child to find a camp.
I want to go back to something you just said because I think it's really important about sending your kid to a camp where they already know someone or they already know a couple of people. Again, I just go back to my own personal experience. First time I ever went to sleepaway camp, a couple of my friends had already been there, and it helped me out tremendously. I think that's really important.
Yeah, there's some kids that you could just send anywhere and they'll just talk to anybody. But I think most kids are shy, and especially you take a new experience, especially a sleepaway camp, it's best if they know at least one person.
Talk to our viewers about safety, and should parents be concerned about the safety of their kids when they send them to camp?
I think some parents are concerned about maybe the unstructured nature of camp. Really, though, the truth is, in a study done by the American Camp Association, compared to all other activities, they found that camp happens to be the safest by far, including sports activities.
Really? All right, summer camp safe and a ton of fun. Yeah. And it was great to have you here, Dr. Melman.
Great to be here.
All right, and make sure that you stick with the morning show all summer long. We're going to give you your insider's guide to everything camp, from how to choose to how to prepare, and you can even get more details at southflorida.com/camp, where you can watch a video about camp essentials with Sun Sentinel mommy blogger Ann Vasquez. In short, we are your place to go when you want to figure out where to send your kids for summer camp. Coming up this weekend, The Runaways runs away to theaters, but we're going to give you the chance to see the film before anyone else. Don't miss the cue to call to win your free tickets. Good morning, Miramar. You're watching The Morning Show. 7:29, you're taking a live look outside at downtown Fort Lauderdale. We actually got the sun to cooperate perfectly so we could frame that picture for you.
Yeah.
Welcome to the morning show.
10 seconds, by the way. Cloud in 10 seconds.
Right,
Go.
get off the shot quickly. Jeff, Kristen, and I'm Dave. And this morning we've been talking about airline travel and what bugs you the most, the single most annoying thing about airline travel. And I relayed a personal story that's been getting some buzz on Facebook. And basically what happened to me, if you're just tuning in now, on Sunday, I flew from Los Angeles to Miami, 5-hour flight. Long flight.
Long flight.
Planned ahead.
Hey, do not help
All right. Planned ahead, got an aisle seat. I took care of it, right? So I get my aisle seat. Where are we looking? We're here, right? There we are. Yeah, okay. You know, so I got my aisle seat, and guy sitting next to me in the middle. His wife sitting sitting in front of him in the middle. Okay, got it? Husband, wife, middle, I'm aisle.
You said you were going to say this fast.
I got confused which camera I was looking at. Basically, they asked me if I would swap my aisle seat for her middle seat so they could sit next to each other, and then I would be stuck in the middle. I understand you want to sit next to your wife. I get it, and I think it's beautiful.
That's the disclaimer.
But I said
here's
no.
what happened.
But I said no. I said no because it's 5 hours.
They asked to give up your seat, and you said no. Really? The husband and wife want to sit next to each other. They asked Dave, give up your seat. Be a
Sitting
gentleman.
in the middle for 5 hours?
They sit next to each other all the time.
Let's go to our Facebook wall because the viewers have spoken. Maria Sanchez. Maria says, I got mixed emotions on this.
Thank you. I'll take it.
I understand and agree 75%. That would have been an act of kindness. However, since Dave's not kind, it's his right as a customer to get what he paid for. Okay, Maria, you didn't say that. I added
we miss you, Kristen.
I just can't help believe you didn't give up your seat. And Lisa Hayward agrees.
Here we go. Was there another comment to read?
I guess there's another one from John Stevens.
Oh, great. What does John have to say?
John says, way to go, Dave. I totally agree. That couple should have booked their seats together if they wanted to sit next to each other on that flight.
Okay, because when you book a ticket, what happens, right? The first thing you do is, would you like to select seats? If you were to go, I would do this saying Spirit Airlines. However, right now, I'm not going to say Spirit Airlines because they're about to start charging me for carry-on baggage, and I'm upset about that. But that's when you pick your seat. Why? Why would you wait until Dave Azer gets on the plane and you expect Dave Azer to move?
And you make me look bad by putting me on the spot.
Well, would it have been that big of a deal if you just give here are the numbers if you'd like to talk about this. Gosh, rap is my least favorite word. I just hate it. I just want to talk. Call us 877-5050-735. Text us 23539. Email us feedback@southflorida.com. Be our fan on Facebook or follow us on Twitter at WSFL.
I just want to point out in closing, Jeff, I got about 3 hours of perfect sleep.
Yeah, you did.
Worked out great for me.
All that extra leg room on the aisle.
Oh, it was just great.
Such a meanie. Let's talk weather, Jeff.
Listen, I'm going to do weather in 10 seconds, Producer Brad. Everything's going to be fine. Let's take a look at what's going on with your wake-up weather. Dave, by the way, totally. I'm on Team Dave on this one, as you clearly know. Precision Doppler HD, it is looking clear. It's looking real nice if you're leaving in this general direction. Fort Lauderdale, maybe Hollywood. Maybe you're going north. Maybe you're going south to the north. Everything is clear as well. Let's take a look at the last 6 hours, shall we? Yeah, we got a little cloud cover. As you saw on Skycam, that's going to break up. All things considered, not going to be too bad of a day. Maybe a little more cloud cover than what we've seen the last few, but 70 degrees in Lauderhill for while you're waiting at the bus stop. I will wrap Brad, Producer Brad. Don't worry about it. Day planner looking like this. 78 degrees by the time we go to lunch. Now, Mr. Traffic, how quickly can you give us the morning rush traffic?
That's not looking too bad out there right now, Jeff. We do have a couple of things on I-95 in Broward you're going to want to watch for. We do have a minor accident I-95 southbound after Sheridan Street and some road debris southbound 95 at Pembroke Road, some pieces of tires there, and other debris as well. This one just came in northbound at Davie Boulevard, some metal debris. That's slowing traffic down a little bit through there, so that stretch is a little slower than normal. And we do have 595 eastbound volume building from 136th Avenue. That's completely normal for this time of the morning. In Miami-Dade, we have an earlier situation, I-75 southbound near Miami Gardens Drive. That should start to be clearing very soon. And also a Surface Street incident, northeast 187th Street at 25th Avenue. That remains closed to traffic. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is where you want to check anytime you're heading out. Dave, Kristen, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Traffic. We've got a lot of news to get to, so Lisa Hayward standing by live at the Sun Sentinel News Desk. Good morning, Lisa.
Good morning, Kristen and Dave. Good morning, South Florida. There's new information on what will be needed to ensure an upturn in the nation's economy. Notes from the most recent Federal Reserve meeting show policymakers are concerned the economic recovery could lose steam without a pickup in the creation of jobs. The Fed also cited worries over the housing market, where gains have recently leveled off. The Fed had already said it would hold a key interest rate near zero for an extended period. A new survey by Fannie Mae found 65% of homeowners and renters think there's still value in owning a home, although recent conditions have made them more cautious. Fannie Mae economists say home buyers have taken note of an increase in foreclosures, but 70% say they still believe buying a home is one of the safest investments. I'm Lisa Hayward. For more on these stories as they develop, go to southflorida.com. And if you live in Broward County, we want to know what's happening in your neighborhood. Send us your news by emailing us at feedback@southflorida.com. Dave and Kristen, back to you on the couch.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa. Free ticket alert, free ticket alert. Now is your chance to win 2 passes to see the movie The Runaways. So 4 total. 4 people get to go see the movie. So all you need to do right now, be our 3rd caller. Here is the number, 877-5050-735, 877-5050-735. You've got to be 18 or older, though, and live in Monroe, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. Once again, the tickets are for 2 passes to see The Runaways at Sunrise Cinemas Gateway for Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Don't worry, though, if you aren't our 3rd caller right now, there will be 3 more chances to win throughout the show today. So more chances in store for you. Good luck.
1 more chance to win, not 3 more.
Okay, well, I tried to give 3, but apparently you're a little bit more stingy.
I'm a grouch today, clearly. I don't give up my seat. I don't do anything. Feel like your partner doesn't understand you? Dr. Lisa Paz will be here to tell you what differences there are between men and women. Plus, in our daily health key report, our doctor will tell us if poisoning by prescription drugs is on the rise and if shyness is all in your brain.
Interesting. Good morning, Tamarack. A gorgeous sunrise for you. More of the morning show coming your way.
Good morning. It is 7:39. You're taking a live look outside at Fort Lauderdale.
It's nice. You can see the sun rays through the clouds. Beautiful. It's going to be a great day. In just a few minutes, Jeff will give you the full day's forecast and a look ahead at the weekend. Halfway there, everybody. Wednesday, hump day. Okay, ladies, you don't have to feel guilty about feeling guilty anymore. A new study in the Spanish Journal of Medicine reveals it's just natural to feel guilty. It turns out it's men who lack an emotional range.
Is that supposed to hurt me? Because it doesn't. No. I feel nothing about that. Sex and relationship therapist Dr. Lisa Paz is here to explain the proven differences between men and women. So women feel more guilty, men don't feel guilty. I feel like we already knew this, no?
Old news. Yeah, we do sort of know this. We know that women in general are just more empathetic and more emotional, but now they're pinning down that men feel less guilt.
Yeah, I read a lot about the research and stuff, and it suggests, I mean, to me, it suggests that men need to follow our lead in feeling more guilty or more empathetic of some sort.
Well, they're saying that men have something to learn here, that women really, in our guilty nature, what we really do is we're peacekeepers. I think the take-home message, though, for viewers, right, is that if you're in an argument with your significant other who's male, or even your brother or your male friend, right, and they don't ruminate on it, or if they sort of get over it faster than you, right? Women tend to take this sort of as really a sad or personal affront, and it might not be such a personal affront. It might just be the way males interact.
Yeah.
The thing about the word empathy is, I mean, I feel like it is tough being you. I feel like, honestly,
well, thank you.
Yes,
really,
it is.
I want no part of being a woman. You all got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Physically, emotionally, a lot of stuff happening. So, I mean,
that was very empathic.
Thank you.
I liked that.
But that's my point.
That should happen more often.
That's my point. It's like, I feel like I'd like to be empathic regarding women, but I don't know what women time feels like. I don't know.
I don't know that you need to know what it feels like so much as just know that it's hard. And again, we're not necessarily even talking about having to be empathetic towards being a woman so much as if you're upset, if your feelings got hurt, if you got in a fight with someone and you did something wrong. Women will ruminate. And for the women watching, you'll talk it over with your best friend, you'll go over it in your head. And research shows men are just much more solution-oriented. They don't walk around with that guilt. They don't ruminate on it. But it can come across as insensitive.
You know, is there a healthy level of guilt for women? Because I know, we do a lot of mommy stuff on this show, and it seems like the common theme for moms is there's always guilt involved with leaving your kid or not doing enough for your kid, or, you know what I mean? Is there a healthy level of guilt?
Yeah, I mean, I think guilt that motivates us to be our best is positive guilt. Guilt that we can't shake, or guilt that sort of drives our whole personality and makes us feel insecure, is really an unhealthy level of guilt, and you'd have to check yourself.
And before you wreck yourself.
That's very good.
As I once saw on a T-shirt about 20 years ago. And for men who, you know, regarding children, men go and they work all day. I mean, I know women do that as well. But, you know, and a lot of fathers, they're out, they're sort of absentee fathers. I mean, yes, you feel guilty about that, but what's the practical solution? Because there's no way to not work all day.
Well, there is no practical solution. And again, in keeping with this study, inherently men will feel less guilty. And from an evolutionary perspective, this might be because men had to go and be the providers where women needed to be the caretakers. So it might have been sort of intrinsically beneficial that they didn't feel as much guilt. Who knows?
Who knows?
Okay, so Dr. Paz, we're tackling another issue later in the show. I'm really excited. Sex therapy. So you want to stay with us all morning because Dr. Paz will break down the hottest excuse in Hollywood and beyond. That's what we're calling it, sex addiction. We're going to dish about it with Dr. Paz in just a little bit. But Jeff Malcar is standing by with your weather forecast. You mean it. You mean something over there.
I mean, I want to know. I'm going to ask Lisa Paz if she went frame by frame through the Tiger Woods speech on Monday at the Masters and see what happened. That might take a whole show for that. But anyways, all right, Precision Doppler HD is looking clear. It's a lot easier to read Precision Doppler HD than to find out the true motives behind Tiger's speech. But Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, Coral Springs, everybody's looking clear, sweeping clear this morning. What do we got going on a little bit further out? Well, basically Interstate 95 free from precipitation as it has been for many days, and it should continue to be, at least for today into tomorrow. As you can see, a few clouds rolling ashore from the south-southeast, and your big story today is maybe a little more cloud cover than we've seen in the last few, a little more low-level moisture rolling in with that southeast flow, but still a pretty good beach day, all things considered. You're going to want to watch out for the risk of rip currents, about a moderate risk out there. So be careful. 70 degrees in Plantation for the kids. Your last look at your school forecast. That was it. A couple of clouds, but no need for a jacket. A nice warm day out there for you. And you can see, yeah, this is that next 24 hours. Wind's actually going to pick up a little bit, especially as you head to the south, maybe over the Keys, even a little bit windier, but winds gusting about 15, 20 miles an hour as we head into tonight. But for today, probably before about 2 o'clock, winds out of the southeast, 10 to 15 knots. A moderate chop out there in those seas at about 2 to 3 feet. Today, here you go, 81 degrees. That high temperature is right about where it should be for this time of the year. And as you look at Futurecast HD, that streak of gorgeous weather continues. There's your lunchtime forecast, barely a cloud in the sky. There will be partly cloudy. Sun will be out. It'll hide behind a cloud. And then, yeah, some clouds rolling through the west and the east coast. Those are going to spread continually inland. You probably noticed this the last few days at about 3, 4 o'clock. If you're along the beach on A1A, get a little more cloud cover out there. Tonight, we get down to about 71 degrees, partly cloudy. Winds picking up once again, like I said, gusting maybe upwards of about 20 miles an hour. I had a tough time getting that out. By the way, more coffee is needed. Here is that extended forecast, though. Temperatures continuing to warm up, about 83 degrees. Chance for showers as a cool front rolls through Friday, but that's going to bulldoze away some of those dew points. Dew points should drop down about 5 degrees, so it'll feel real nice. Saturday, temperatures right about 80 degrees. All right, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Oh, we have some congestion northbound I-95 in Broward approaching Davie Boulevard. Metal debris on the roadway there causing a bit of a delay. Further north, an accident 95 at Sunrise Boulevard now off to the side. Dave, go ahead.
Thanks, Mr. Traffic. Do you consider yourself shy? Well, maybe you're just bored. And poisoning by prescriptions. Dr. Steve Salvatore is here to talk about how hospitals are handling the overrun of overdoses in today's Health Key Report. Dr. Steve, haven't seen you in a while. How are you?
I'm good, Dave. I miss you, too. In today's Health Key Report, celebrities actually steal the headlines, but more everyday Americans are overdosing on prescription painkillers and sedatives than ever before. It's shocking, Dave. A national survey of hospitals finds that between 1996 and 2006, overdoses of sedatives and painkillers rose by 65%. Now, some health officials are calling this an epidemic, but, you know, when you think of drug overdoses, you usually think of illegal drugs like heroin and cocaine, right? While these cases are still prevalent, prescription drug misuse is much higher, and it's rising among men and women of all ages, including teenagers, with the greatest increase, believe it or not, among middle-aged women.
All right, but just for clarity's sake, these overdoses, are they intentional?
Well, the majority of them were unintentional, about 37%, but still a lot of them were intentional, and doctors are concerned because people are obviously shopping around, getting multiple prescriptions from different places, and many of them, unfortunately, are doing this on purpose. Now, I want to ask you a question, Dave, switching gears a little bit here. Would you consider yourself shy? I don't think you're shy.
Absolutely not. I think people would say, Dave, shut up. Stop talking.
Okay, well, then this applies to other people, not you. Shy people have something to smile about this morning, Dave. A new study suggests that shy people actually process the world a little differently and pay more attention to details compared to more extroverted people kind of like you. About 20% of people, they say, are born with a personality trait called sensory perception sensitivity, which can be seen in children who are kind of slow to warm up to others. Maybe you've known kids like this. Well, people with these traits have more activity in certain parts of their brains when they process visual information. And it turns out because of that, they're easily bored with small talk, which kind of explains why I have a hard time at cocktail parties, Dave. I get bored real easily because the truth is I'm actually very shy.
Really?
Believe it or not.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, no, I am.
Wow. Then, then you should definitely not be on television then.
Yeah, well, you know, kind of happened.
No, I'm just kidding. Hey, it's good to see you. Hope you enjoyed your vacation. Welcome back.
I did. Thanks very much. Next time I'm going warm weather.
Yeah, come on down. Come on down to Florida. For more from Dr. Steve and to send him your questions, log on to southflorida.com/health. Coming up, if you're a wine aficionado, or even if you're not, you don't want to miss our next wine segment. It is all about Riesling.
Yes, wake up. I know. Listen, don't shoot the messenger, but it is indeed time to wake up. I'm sorry, but think of it this way. We're halfway through the work week, right? Well, maybe it's more like 2.5 days left of the work week. But Fort Lauderdale down to Miami, guess what? No problems on the morning commute. So that should put a smile on your face, right? Grab a second cup of coffee, maybe a third, fourth. You got plenty of time out there for you. 71 degrees in Fort Lauderdale right now. Winds out of the southeast about 8 miles an hour. A little clearer than it was just about an hour ago. So 71 degrees in Miami as well. And here you go in the next couple of days, even though really it's the next 3 days. Today, tomorrow. Here is the gateway to your weekend. What's this? Whew, we haven't seen this in a while. Will these showers last all weekend long? Well, I'll let you know coming up in a few minutes. Can't be that easy for you, right? Stay tuned. Your full 7-day forecast coming up on the morning show. But first, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
Well, Jeff, I-595 turned into a slow roll eastbound from Flamingo over to University Drive. No accidents reported, just typical congestion for this time of the morning. Allow some extra time through the area. Over to you, Kristen.
Hey, it's never too early for a little vino. For wine connoisseurs, the fine characteristics of each grape are clear, but for most of us, the wine is a mystery. Take Riesling, for example. It's one of my faves. It's one of the most popular wine varieties in the SFL. Here to explain, Dr. Roald Hepp, director of Schloss Wohlrads, one of the oldest wine estates in Germany. Hello, doctor. How you doing?
Hello, Christine. I'm doing well.
Well, I'm really excited to have you here because, you know, Riesling is one of my absolute favorites. I love it because it's sweet, but we were talking about in the green room, you know, Riesling can be for everyone because it can be sweet or more dry, you were saying.
That's right. Riesling is one of the most versatile grape varieties. You can find it in a dry style as an aperitif or just enjoy wine by the glass or for steamed and boiled dishes. And you can find it in a more sweeter variation for more spicy dishes, for curry, ginger, wasabi.
So you can make it kind of go with everything then, you're saying?
You can use it throughout the whole menu if you like.
I like very much, and I feel like it's not okay to have a little bit of wine here. And so can you just pour me a glass, even if we're going to fake it? Even if we're going to fake it. Okay. So some of the what is it about Riesling? Some of the pairings, for example, if you're eating pasta, what kind of Riesling would you gravitate towards?
I would take a semi-dry Riesling because Riesling always shows a fruity varietal character on one side, but a fresh, crisp acidity on the other side. So if you take a semi-dry Riesling, it intensifies the natural flavors of the food and is an ideal food matching partner.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Would you say wine is an acquired taste? I know a lot of people, I used to not like wine. Now I love a good glass of Riesling. Would you say that's acquired taste? And how would you acquire it if you just want to be a wine lover but you don't like it yet?
Okay, I think you have to start with the basic range and then develop your taste and lift it up to a higher level of knowledge. Riesling is a very sophisticated grape variety. We call it the king of the white grapes, and Pinot Noir is the queen of the red grapes.
That's my red fave.
Okay, so you have a really royal couple.
You know, I have royal taste. And speaking of, I want to talk about your vineyard really quick because it's, I swear you have such a romantic life. So tell me about your vineyard.
It is. It's very romantic setting. We have a medieval castle from the 1600s and a monopoly vineyard. Our castle is in the middle of our own vineyards. So it's very, very nice setting. All our vineyards are south face to the River Rhine. The Rhine Valley is a very romantic part of Germany. And then invite you and all your guests and colleagues to come and see us.
Absolutely beautiful. I feel like everywhere you go, you should have some romantic theme song following you or something. Okay, really quick, let's cheers because we got to wrap things up. Thank you so much.
Okay,
do I need to swirl first? Is that how we do it? Okay.
Yeah,
cheers.
More flavor.
Okay. I'm fake drinking. You can learn more about wine, like the truth about whether it helps you digest your food, at southflorida.com/cheers. And coming up at 8 o'clock, what you say on Twitter could be getting more attention than you think. Our Kurt the Cyber Guy tells us what companies are getting out of monitoring your status updates. Plus, some help could be on the way for parents having to fork over the cash to help your kids get ready for the next school year. We'll talk about it. Shine, wake up, SFL. You know why? Because it's going to be a great day. Wednesday, hump day, a lot to look forward to. Plus, the sun rays are just shining through those clouds so nicely. And word is it's going to be beautiful. You're taking a live look at Biscayne Bay, where Eugene Ramirez is with, oh my goodness, the crew, the cast and crew of a new reality show coming your way on CMT.
Look at how pretty that is.
Gorgeous, right?
Yeah.
It's nice to live here. It's beautiful. Beautiful.
So this morning we're having a real fun conversation about airline travel. Now normally you would think what bugs you about airline travel wouldn't be a fun conversation, but people are coming up with some very interesting and unusual things that bother them. Now one of the topics that has stuck has been something that happened to me on a flight, and if you're just joining us, I will quickly recap.
Okay.
This Sunday was flying from Los Angeles here to Miami, 5-hour flight. Thank you very much. I thought ahead. I got myself my aisle seat so I could sleep.
Right.
Get on the plane. Sitting in the middle seat is a guy. Sitting in the row in front of him in the middle seat is his wife.
His wife.
Bummer. They, however, asked me if I would give up my precious aisle seat for her middle seat so they could sit next to each other.
Because they want to sit, I mean, they're husband and wife. It's a long flight. They want to sit next to each other.
However, they spend a lot of time with each other. So I said no.
They could have been newlyweds.
Or not.
They could have had a long distance, you know, relationship. Well, husband and wives do that nowadays.
Yeah. So
anyway, they wanted to sit next to each other, and I think this one should have just forked over his seat and just said, sure. I mean, what's the big deal?
I was inconvenienced terribly. So what happened was we got a comment from, well, tons of viewers. Here's a comment that we got from Alex Laz, and I think it's genius. Why don't you read it, Kristen?
Really, Alex? Gosh, I'm such a loner on this one. So many people are against me. I would have not given up my seat either. I would have been like, listen, bro. I don't know what to tell you, but I tend to get claustrophobic, followed by putting his iPod back on. And another thing, how come they didn't ask the guy in front of Dave to move?
That's what I'm saying.
Probably because they knew Dave from television and they thought, oh, he's so nice, he's so charming, he's so sweet. Clearly, he will give up his seat for another fan of the show.
That's a good point.
Great one. We lost some fans of the show.
I was courteous about it. I was like, look, I feel your pain. I understand, but I need to sleep. I have to be up at 2 in the morning. By the way, as we throw over to Jeff, this was just handed to me. I'm assuming this is from Jeff.
What is it?
It says, Dave is right. That's exactly
Whatever. Correct. Here's what I say to this.
That's mine. Yeah.
Here's what I say to this.
No, you did not.
Horror.
No, you did not do that.
Go to the weather wall. I'm so serious. Getting crazy on this set. Jeez.
That's ridiculous.
I should just sit on the couch.
Right. He paid a lot of money for that seat. Kristen.
Go with her.
Yeah, all right. Precision Doppler HD, it's looking like this. not much going on at all. Great flying weather, though, I will tell you that. Keep your seat, though. You paid good money for it. Fort Lauderdale down to Pembroke Pines, Coral Springs, looking A-OK. We can zoom out a little bit, show you the rest of 95 here from West Palm down towards Miami. Nothing to worry about at all. Of course, over the last 6 hours, things are looking good. You got this easterly, southeasterly flow. Some clouds rolling there. You probably saw our sky cam throughout the show. Those clouds break up a little bit. We've got plenty of sunshine before all said and done today. So, and your day planner, well, right now, 73 degrees, southeast winds 8 miles an hour, and in Miami, 72 degrees, winds out of the southeast at about 3 miles an hour. So I will tell you this much. The good weather streak continues. Can we keep it going all week? I'll let you know with the rest of your week forecast and look at the next 7 days. It's coming up in just a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush doing?
Hi, good morning, Jeff. It's a little bit busier on the roadways of Broward this morning, especially out on I-75. We have a southbound accident approaching Miramar, a multi-vehicle accident. A couple of vehicles rolled off the median onto the side of the road. Expect delays through there. Onlooker delays are building right now. That's one of a number of accidents in Broward. I-95, we have a northbound accident at Broward Boulevard as well. That's off to the side. And we had some earlier debris about Davie Boulevard that caused some slowdowns through there as that debris was being removed. 595, very slow right now. Flamingo all the way to University. Allow some extra time through there. In Miami-Dade County, more a matter of congestion. There was one accident, I-95 northbound at the Palmetto Expressway near the Golden Glades. The rest of the roadways, the Palmetto, the Dolphin 836, just your usual congestion for this time of the day. SouthFlorida.com/traffic is where you need to check before you head out. Kristen, Dave, over to you.
Oh, gosh, I am so annoyed. Adeline, our floor director, keeps saying, Kristen, you're so grumpy today. You're in such a bad mood just because I ripped up Dave's little paper because I think he should have given up his seat on the airline. So, Adeline, leave me alone. I'm in a great mood.
Yeah, Adeline.
Okay.
Leave her alone.
I'm in a wonderful mood. Actually, I'm so happy to be back. It's 8:03. We've got to get to your news as well. So, on a more serious note, Lisa Hayward's at the Sun Sentinel News Desk with today's headlines. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Kristen and Dave. Good morning, South Florida. The Deerfield Beach Middle School girl who was attacked on campus 3 weeks ago is now breathing on her own and opening her eyes. The morning show's Kristen Kane is live in the studio with more. Chris?
Lisa, even more good news for beating victim Josie Lou Ratley. Today marks 3 weeks she's been in a medically induced coma at Broward General Medical Center. And according to her family's lawyer, she's doing very well, and he's hoping today or tomorrow is the day that she wakes up.
Josie Lou Ratley's lawyer, Rick Friedman, says the 15-year-old is now breathing on her own. She's been taken off the ventilator. She's continuing to show signs of progress, and she's expected to wake up any day now.
Pneumonia's gone, fever's gone, infections are gone. I mean, all positive signs. Ever since Sunday, since Easter Sunday, things have been really upbeat. Mom's, positive. Smile on her face for the first time in 3 weeks.
Josie was attacked on her Deerfield Beach Middle School campus on March 17th. 15-year-old Wayne Tracy is charged with attempted murder. He's accused of stomping on Ratley's head with steel-toed boots over an insensitive text message. Prosecutors have until April 19th to decide whether Tracy will be charged as an adult or as a juvenile.
And there are a number of fundraisers for Josie Lou Ratley being held around Broward. Tomorrow, a bike night benefit will be held at Mugshots Bar and Grill in Margate from 7:30 to 11:30. The restaurant is at 1047 North State Road 7. Don't forget, donations to the Josie Lou Ratley Fund can be made at any Wachovia bank. And Josie's mom and lawyer are expected to speak later this morning about how she's been doing these past few hours. So check out SouthFlorida.com later today to find out what they said. Live in the studio, I'm Kristen Kane for the morning show.
In a stunning turn of events, the husband of a missing Coral Springs woman is now charged with her murder. Police say they arrested 63-year-old Munawar Toha Tuesday after reviewing surveillance video near the man's office that shows him pushing a car into a nearby lake. Police searched the lake and found the body of his wife, Surya, who had been missing for nearly 2 weeks. The arrest comes after Toha made an emotional plea to the public to help find her. Investigators say his actions were suspicious and inconsistent with a person coping with loss. How the wife died is still not known. If you have any information about this crime, call the Coral Springs Police Department at 954-344-1800. Now an update to breaking news we brought you Tuesday morning. The search is on for the robber who shot and killed a Nova Southeastern University professor during a home invasion in Plantation. Police say just after midnight, an intruder burst into Dr. Joseph Morrissey's home, bound him and his wife, and then set the house on fire. The professor's body was found on the patio. His wife, Linda, managed to escape with their young son. son, who slept through the crime. Both are okay this morning. Morsi was internationally recognized for his groundbreaking work using heat and radio waves to attack cancer cells. I'm Lisa Hayward. Remember, Broward County, it's your show. We want to hear what you'd like to see covered. Give us your opinions by emailing us at feedback@southflorida.com. Now over to Dave and Kristen on the couch.
All right, thanks a lot, Lisa. We're still talking about.
Well, Delsina Freeman, Delsina, good morning. She just left a comment on our Facebook wall, siding with Dave and Jeff on the airline conversation. If you're not caught up on the combo, just go to our Facebook wall, The Morning Show. Be a fan on Facebook. Okay, but parents, more importantly, we're talking about this issue. One of your favorite shopping holidays is making a comeback.
Florida's back-to-school sales tax holiday has been reinstated for one weekend in August, so you can enjoy tax-free shopping from August 13th to the 15th on clothes and shoes less than $50. School supplies less than $10 will also be tax-free under a bill the Florida House passed Tuesday.
Yeah, this is very cool. The state Senate still must approve the tax holiday. The back-to-school break has been popular for a decade, but lawmakers suspended it the past 2 years because of financial constraints. But we'll let you know what happens on this one, because it definitely is, you know, refreshing and a big relief for those who get to take part in this one.
All right, coming up, talking American Idol, and we are getting down to the wire. We will get our Idol Insider's look at the latest renditions from last night's performances.
And welcome aboard Fireboat One. It is the set of the new action-packed reality show Danger Coast, premiering this Friday and being shot right here in South Florida. Coming up on the morning show, we're meeting the cast and taking you behind the scenes aboard Fireboat One.
Not a bad gig for Eugene this morning, huh? Jeez, it's gorgeous out there. Also, our relationship expert, Dr. Lisa Paz, is in the house to take a closer look at sex addiction and sex rehab. Yes.
It's the trend now. Good morning, Plantation. You're watching The Morning Show.
Morning Show weather reports brought to you by All Year Cooling. Save 30% on your FPL bill. Call 954 AC Repair.
Good morning, it's 8:10 on your Wednesday hump day. You're taking a live look behind the scenes inside of our control room. Hey guys and gals, by a show of hands, tell me who sides with Dave? Who thinks Dave is right in not giving up his seat for a husband and wife that want to sit next to each other on the plane? Not one person. No, okay, wait. Okay, one more question. Show of hands, who sides with me and thinks he should have given up his seat? Who is that?
A woman.
Yes, Mary. Mary, you know what, Mary? I have always liked you, Mary. You are such a sweet person. That Mary Maloney knows her stuff.
I want to reiterate, though, very quickly, I'm a nice guy. And I like to help people, and I understand that you want to sit next to your wife on a flight.
No disclaimer. No,
I understand that. I get it. I'm just saying that it's a 5-hour flight, and sitting in a middle seat rather than an aisle seat, whoa, that's a big difference.
So the wife who has severe flight anxiety
You're speculating.
Will not be able to hold her hubby's hand.
She was fine. I watched her. She was eating crackers.
In fact, they probably got in a huge fight and just made up, and now they want to cuddle, but Dave Azer is in the middle of their cuddle fest.
Yeah, I ruined it.
Anyway, sound off on Facebook. Become our fan.
I was comfortable, though.
You're going to have to cuddle with her now. Anyway, become our fan on Facebook. To do that, you go to our website, southflorida.com. Scroll down and click on the Facebook button in the middle of our homepage.
And once you do that, you get your latest news and your hot topics right in your news feed. So become a fan of The Morning Show. And you also get to be our Facebook fan of the day. Well, we can't promise you that, but you'd think one day you might have your shot at it. Today, it's Lisa's shot.
It keeps getting slimmer and slimmer, though, because we have kind of a lot of fans now.
Yeah,
so if you want to be the fan of the day, now is your time to shine. Become our fan on Facebook. Lisa, shout out to you. Have a fantastic day. We appreciate you, Lisa.
By the way, Lisa texted in and said she would not give up her seat either.
Really, Lisa? Come on, Lisa. I thought you would be with me on this one, Lisa. Okay, let's talk about this new reality show. I'm excited. It's a new show making its way to South Florida. The soon-to-premiere action-packed show, Danger Coast, follows the Miami-Dade County's Marine Operations Bureau as they fight to save lives on the water while risking their own. It's dangerous, but somebody's got to do it.
Yeah, and live from the SFL, Eugene Ramirez is patrolling Biscayne Bay with the cast of Danger Coast. Yeah. Some very brave and cool people. Hey, Eugene.
Hey, good morning, Dave and Kristen. Take a look around because you'll be seeing a lot more of this boat cabin. It's Fireboat One's cabin on this new show, Danger Coast, which premieres this Friday at 9:30 p.m. on CMT. And you think Miami-Dade Fire Rescue, you're thinking that they're just fighting fires, right? Well, this Fireboat One can pump 8,000 gallons of water per is it minute per hour per minute. An incredible amount of water, but that's not all it does. And firefighter Nicholas DiGiacomo is going to tell us a little bit more about what you guys do aboard Fireboat 1 with the Marine Operations Unit. This equipment that you're using right now is used in recovery, not of boats, of bodies.
Yeah, we do a lot of search and rescue, missing divers, missing boaters, capsized vessels where people go in the water. And this FLIR unit stands for Forward-Looking Infrared. It's a thermal cam. We can pick up a warm body in a mile of ocean. It's really an incredible tool. And also for pinpointing fires on boats, we can look at the side of a boat and based on the color, know where the fire is, know where the origin is, know where the hot spots are.
So you guys do firefighting, you do body recoveries. What other kind of calls do you guys get?
Oh my God, you name it. Anything happens. We had the humpback whale get tangled up. We'll do wildlife rescue on occasion. People sick at sea, hazmat spills, oil spills, fuel spills, things like that. You name it, we'll roll.
You guys do it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to walk out this way, talk to Captain Mike Parker, who runs the boat, Fireboat 1, and his crew of men here, different crews with the Marine Operations Unit. How many of you guys are there in total, and how many of these guys are we going to be seeing on the show?
We have about 40 certified fireboat personnel in 3 different positions, and actually the 4th position, everybody is certified in that position. So we have four certifications. You'll probably see anywhere from 20 to 25 of us on the program throughout the 10-episode series this year.
You guys have been telling me a lot of exciting stories of what you guys do out here on the water. How much of this can we expect to see on the show? Is this real reality television, or is this stuff staged?
These are real calls. There's no acting. There's nothing staged here. It's actually the calls that we go on. The camera guys are with us 24 hours a day, and when we go, they go.
All right. Any divas on the crew now?
We have one diva, DiGiacomo.
Just one. Uh-oh. All right, Captain. We won't tell him anything. All right, guys. We're going to stay here aboard Fireboat 1 all morning long. Check out the rest of the cool set of the new show, Danger Coast. You can, of course, get more information on that on southflorida.com, but it does premiere this Friday, 9:30 p.m. on CMT.
Oh, goodness. Can't wait. Thank you so much, Eugene. Again, this Friday on CMT, Danger Coast. I'm excited to watch it. And I didn't know if he was talking about Eugene, the diva, on board, or there's actually another diva on board, because if so, it's going to be far more interesting television. Just got to say, I'm excited.
And a reality show without Heidi and Spencer, I think, is a great thing. So we'll just we'll leave it at that. Jeff Melcar's planning his own reality show with Heidi and Spencer.
You didn't hear that Heidi and Spencer are actually going to be on the 2nd episode on the boat fighting fires. Very bizarre. Crazy. They're everywhere. They pop up everywhere. All right. Precision Doppler HD looking fantastic right now. And as you can see, sweeping clear. It's literally about to sweep right upon my head. So let's move to the next thing, shall we? Yeah, there you go. Get out of there. Last 6 hours looking like this. Just a few clouds. It's basically taking satellite plus radar, taking 6 hours, putting it in motion. And honestly, with the lack of cloud cover there, with the exception, you got some clouds out here over in the Gulf. It really almost looks like a still picture out there. And this is what it's been looking like for the last week plus, give or take a day. Great, great weather. This is what we love. And you really got to take it all in, because you know it's just a matter of time before it's 24/7 air conditioning weather. So here's your headlines for today, the 7th of April. Where's 2010 going? Got a little more cloud cover today than what we've seen. Still a good beach day, but if you're going to head to the beach, watch out for those rip current risks, and I'll show you why those are happening in just a second. But today, 81 degrees, similar to yesterday, maybe a degree warmer, but this high temperature of 81 is right about where it should be for this time of the year. And Jeff's backyard forecast for you. It's right here, 81 degrees in Coral Springs. Yeah, the great weather, it continues today. How long can this streak last? You know it's got to come to an end at some time. Today, not that day though. UV index, this is your big map. All this purple, what exactly does that mean? Well, consult the scale, my friends, from purple down to green. You can see we got some clouds to the north, and that is why you've got the green there, but we can make it real simple for you. 8 out of 10 for your sun index, and once again, that rip current risk. Now, why is that? Well, check out these winds for the next 24 hours. You can see at the beginning of the loop, that's where we are right now. As we go through the next 24 hours, these winds, believe it or not, are going to be on the increase, and when you get this direct flow against the Atlantic coast, that's where you get those rip currents on the Atlantic coast. So you're definitely going to want to make sure you're a strong swimmer. Always swim where there is a lifeguard present, and the buddy system, always a good idea, especially when we do have that risk of rip current. Degrees, partly cloudy, and as I've said, some gusty winds. We're talking about 15-20 miles an hour, possibly higher as we go into the overnight. Here comes that extended forecast. 7 days, not looking too bad. Lots of sunshine, as you can see. Continuing the warm-up through Friday. Warmest period will be right before this front arrives, sometime on Friday. A little bit of shower activity, not a whole lot of moisture with this, but You will notice that the dew points and humidity levels will go down for the beginning of the weekend. Saturday, Sunday, looking and feeling good right around 80 degrees. All right, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush doing?
Well, if you're just getting ready to grab those keys and head out, the worst of a couple of slow stretches in Broward. Southbound I-75 near Miramar Parkway. An accident sent a van and a car onto the median, so no travel lanes are blocked, but onlooker delays causing backups all the way to Pines Boulevard. Dave and Kristen, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Traffic. Let's do a little SFL Says. The hot topic today, besides Dave's giving up his seat dilemma, another hot topic is the fact that Spirit Airlines is now going to charge anywhere from $25 to $40 for carry-on bags. We're not talking about the bags that you check. I just want to reiterate, because I think it's absolutely insane for carry-on bags charging $25 to $40 when we already have to pay so much in fees. So, I mean, I think we can all agree that extra fees for carry-ons are really frustrating. So we're opening up to you. Feel free to comment. How do you feel about these extra fees? And just, you know, it seems like it's one thing after another.
Well, you're upset about it, and so is Amina. We got an email from Amina who says, I think it's total BS that airlines now charge for luggage in general, and now they want to charge for carry-ons. This is getting totally out of hand, and they are taking advantage of the whole flying situation, because I don't want to sit in a car for a day or two or whatever it takes to travel by car. They charge me extra to bring my belongings. Something needs to happen before flying becomes completely outrageous. It is already frustrating. I feel like they are taking advantage. Great comment.
Yeah, definitely a great comment. We want to add Spirit Airlines is saying, you know, the justification for this is they are lowering fares, but, you know, you've got to assume that they're making money at the end of the day.
And you also have to wonder if other airlines are going to copy this and do it as well.
Oh, goodness, I hope not. By the way, check out this story on the front page of the Sun Sentinel today. Here are the numbers if you'd like to comment. 877-5050-735. Text us 23539. Email us feedback@southflorida.com. Follow us on Twitter @WSFL. And there's a raging debate on our Facebook page.
Yes.
You've got to go there to check it out for yourself. Please be our fan on Facebook and add your 2 cents to the convo, because everyone's on Dave's side.
Yeah,
no one's on my side.
I love it. The people have spoken. They all agree with me.
However, people here in the studio, a couple people are on my side.
Nobody is. Coming up, nobody is.
They are too.
Coming up, ever dreamed that your thoughts on Twitter could help you while shopping? We'll tell you how your tweets are on businesses' radars.
I'm on your side, Kristen. And at the bottom of the hour, if you hand over some change to a beggar on the streets in one Broward city, you could be fined or even jailed. More on this proposal on The Morning Show.
Come to the Heart of a Chef Festival, a foodalicious family event with local chefs, great food, and entertainment for your kids. It all happens Sunday, April 11th at the Miami Science Museum. For more info, go to heartofachef.org.
Wake up. Time for your wake up weather. Indeed, I'm going to keep this quick because there's a sense of urgency here in the studio. All right, Fort Lauderdale down to Hialeah. Everything is looking just fine. In fact, what's the day going to be like? Well, let's talk about 73 degrees right now in Fort Lauderdale. Let's talk about 72 degrees in Miami. We're going to top out roughly about 80 to 81 degrees. A little bit warmer as you move inland. But what about the rest of the week? Your full week forecast coming up in mere minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, hey, how's the morning rush?
It's a slow go right now. I-75 southbound by Miramar Parkway. A couple of vehicles in an accident. They're off the travel lanes, but they got onlooker delays about a mile right now. So avoid southbound 75 if you can. Dave, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Traffic. Customers throwing a fit online are catching the attention of big business like never before. Kurt, the cyber guy, explains why companies are now monitoring everything you say on Twitter and why it could be great news for consumers.
I mean, companies are going to have to pay attention to their Twitter, pay attention to what's going on online, because anyone can make this complaint and then they're in trouble.
The trouble social media princess iJustine is referring to is a way in which a complaint on Twitter becomes instantly magnified.
Well, a friend of mine could have 5 followers, but if I were to retweet that, that's retweeted to over 1 million followers, and then my 1 million followers will all retweet that to however many followers they have.
For the non-tweet savvy, it simply means that when you complain, 2 of your friends can repeat it, and 2 of their friends friends and 2 of their friends, and so on until a lot of people have tarnished a company's reputation. Just search Twitter for things like don't ever shop at fill in the blank and worst company ever, and you'll see a laundry list of companies with some seriously unhappy customers. It broke news nearly 2 years ago when Comcast became one of the first major companies to monitor Twitter 24/7, often with nearly instantaneous responses. But now the risk of not monitoring customer complaints can be too costly.
The whole Kevin Smith thing happened on a weekend, so whoever was running the Southwest account, I mean, they were up reading this at all hours of the night.
The silver lining to all this complaining, companies are listening a lot more closely and often offering deals and other incentives to win your loyalty back.
They'll come back with either giving a coupon or free Wi-Fi or just something to make you feel better. Even just acknowledging. So it's just acknowledging is the first step.
For more from the Cyber Guy or to see the rest of his reports, you just go to southflorida.com and click on the morning show. Coming up, we have one more set of tickets to give away to an early preview of the movie The Runaways. Don't miss the cue to call to win your free tickets. Good morning, Coral Springs. You're watching the morning show. Downtown Fort Lauderdale. It is the morning show. Kristen Anderson, Jeff Melkars, and I'm Dave Azer. And there's Kristen Anderson. I said Jeff Melkars. One would only assume that that's
good to see
Jeff.
You. There we go.
You should do like a puppet show for weather.
Please don't.
You know, I was almost a puppeteer.
Please don't.
Major.
I got you guys at home. They're like, oh gosh,
today's
don't do
weather will be beautiful. And that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
How about the weather?
You want to know the weather for real? From me or the puppets left?
You.
All right, thank you, Kristen. All right, let's talk about the weather. Yes, it's going to be a quick one out there. I tell you, you know why? Because your wake-up weather forecast is looking just fantastic, and so is your commute. The commute is looking good as well. I will tell you this much. As you can see on Precision Doppler HD, not a problem. Wow, that took me a long time to get over here, huh? You'd think the studio was about 50 yards long. Fort Lauderdale down to Pembroke Pines, not a problem at all. And the last 6 hours looking really, really clear. So the question I have for you, or the question you more than likely have for me, is can this gorgeous streak of weather continue? I'm going to have all the answers for it. And I can tell you right now, temperatures like this, temperatures like what? Temperatures about 81 degrees today. Incidentally, right about where we should be for this time of the year. We got to get over a little bump in the road before the weekend, which I'll tell you all about coming up in a few minutes. But first, Mr. Traffic, talk to me about the morning rush.
Hey, good morning, Jeff. A couple of slow points through Broward County right now, especially I-75 southbound approaching Miramar Parkway. Accident involving 2 cars and a van. They all ended up in the median, so they're off the travel lanes, but we have onlooker delays both ways and southbound delays right now back to Pine Boulevard. I-595, there's a westbound accident before Davie Road. Obviously, most of the volume going the other way, and it is pretty slow right now. Flamingo all the way to University Drive. It'll cost you a couple of extra minutes, the usual congestion there. And I-95 northbound accident by Broward Boulevard. That's earlier. That should be in the clearing stages right now. Miami-Dade, we have an earlier accident as well. I-95 northbound at the Palmetto Expressway near the Golden Glades should just about be clear. The very slow point right now in Miami-Dade is the Turnpike northbound from Kendall Drive. Very slow with congestion all the way to the Airport Expressway. And Southwest 8th Street, there's a surface street accident at the busy intersection of 122nd Avenue, blocking the intersection there. southflorida.com/traffic is what you want to check before you head out. Kristen and Dave, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Traffic. Also, before you head out, let's get you up to date with what's making news. Lisa Hayward at the Sun Sentinel News Desk for that. Hi, Lisa.
Hi, Kristen and Dave. Good morning, South Florida. Have you ever given spare change to panhandlers on the street? If so, you could be fined or even jailed if Oakland Park goes through with a new proposal. The morning show's Alexia Campbell has this story.
Giving money to panhandlers or street vendors may soon be against the law if you're driving through Oakland Park. City officials will vote tonight on whether or not drivers should be fined, even jailed, if they give money to someone on the street. Under the proposed law, beggars and vendors will also be fined or jailed for approaching drivers in the street.
We think that it's honestly not fair when you find the people who are trying to assist and also the people receiving help and assistance you're basically telling both parties that it's not a good thing to help your fellow man.
Alex Thomas sells the Homeless Voice newspaper at the corner of Commercial Boulevard and Dixie Highway. He says no law is going to stop people from doing what they need to do to survive.
I think people just really need to understand that we are in a rough economy, especially here in South Florida. It's one of the worst, and that we're just trying to make an honest living.
Commissioners say the point of the law is to keep pedestrians safe and avoid accidents.
If they want to beg for money, they shouldn't be doing it in the streets, because I'd hate to be the person who hit someone and killed it, because I'd be living with that for the rest of my life.
In Oakland Park, I'm Alexia Campbell for The Morning Show.
Governor Christ and state lawmakers have announced a landmark $1 billion deal with the Seminole tribe that makes blackjack in Florida legal. If passed, the deal would give the Seminoles a 5-year franchise to operate blackjack tables at its 5 casinos. The Seminoles also get the exclusive rights to Vegas-style slots north of Broward. State pari-mutuel facilities would get no-limit poker games, lifting the current $5 a hand restriction, and would also get a 15% tax cut on slot profits. Beyond Broward and Miami-Dade counties, pari-mutuels will be shut out of lucrative slots gambling. The deal still requires a vote from the House and Senate. The Seminole Tribe Council will gather today in Hollywood to give its stamp of approval. The agreement would help the state's budget, injecting $435 million into next year's spending plan. This could help limit or put off cuts to public education and road building programs. You can read more about it in today's Sun Sentinel. I'm Lisa Hayward. It's 8:34, and those are your latest headlines in South Florida. For more on these stories and instant updates on breaking news, go to southflorida.com. And if you live in Broward County, we want to know what stories you want to see on our show. Send us your ideas by emailing us at feedback@southflorida.com. Dave and Kristen, back to you.
All right, thanks, Lisa. Good news. Time now for your chance to win 2 Admit 2 passes to see the movie The Runaways. We've done the math for you. That's a total of 4 passes.
It's tough, but we did it for you.
2 Admit 2s equals 4. All you need to do right now is be our third caller. Why our third? Why not? Be our third caller, 877-5050-735. You got to be 18 or older and live in Monroe, Dade, Broward, or Palm Beach counties. Once again, the tickets are for 2 Admit 2 passes to see The Runaways for a total of 4 at Sunrise Cinemas Gateway for Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
If you missed last night's American Idol, don't fret, because we'll break down the highlights from the latest episode with our Idol Insider.
And these guys are part of Fireboat One's Sea Shift. They fight fires, they save lives, and starting this Friday, they're going to be the stars of the new South Florida reality TV show, Danger Coast. We're giving you an all-access, behind-the-scenes tour coming up next on The Morning Show.
Good morning, Lauderhill. You're watching The Morning Show.
Good morning. You are taking a live look outside at Fort Lauderdale.
In just a few minutes, Jeff Melkars. I just overheard him saying, she's crazy. I think he was talking about me. But anyways, Jeff's going to be here with your full weather forecast. Yes, he was saying that I am crazy. It's about this airline thing.
Crazy about the weather.
Go to our Facebook wall to find out. Okay, let's focus. We got to talk about this reality show. It's amazing. Obviously, reality shows not new to South Florida, but the world of reality TV has never seen the SFL from this angle. The soon-to-premiere action-packed show Danger Coast. It follows the Miami-Dade County's Marine Operations Bureau as they fight to save lives on the water. It's very interesting, and they risk their own lives too, so it's up close and personal with these amazing people.
And we're bringing it to you today, live from the SFL. Eugene Ramirez is patrolling Biscayne Bay with the cast of Danger Coast. You're patrolling the bay, so are you an honorary member now, Eugene?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're actually out in Biscayne Bay. This is part of the regular shift. These guys come out here every day. They're 24-hour shifts where they're monitoring the radios, waiting for those calls. Sometimes they're fires. Sometimes it's missing persons, bodies, anything you can think of. These guys have done it out here on the water, which adds that extra element of difficulty to what they do. They're firefighters, they're paramedics, they're boat captains. They are, in this morning, Sea Shift of Fireboat One from Miami-Dade Fire Rescue. And I want you guys to go ahead and take a look at the video, some clips that we have for you of this this show, which is premiering Friday night, 9:30 on CMT, so you can get just a little taste of the action that these guys are involved with. They even rescue people and work with cruise lines to work on those situations. Just last night, they were battling a fire right here off the coast of South Florida. And these are the kind of things you're going to be seeing every Friday for a while now this season, coming up on Danger Coast. This guy, talking about honorary members of the crew, is one of the honorary members of this crew now. His name is Charles, and he's with the production crew for Danger Coast. What has it been like from somebody who doesn't have this background to witness what these guys do? Are they a little crazy or what?
Well, I came in here not really knowing what the fire department does, and it's been a real wild ride. These guys are incredible. They do everything from fighting fires to doing medical calls, transfers, things like that, and they know everything that they're doing. On the production side of things, do you feel like sometimes you might be getting in the way? How's your working relationship with the crew? That's a big thing. We try real hard to stay out of the ways and let them do their job, and at this point we've been here for 6 months now, and we've got a real good working relationship where we know where we need to be, they know where we're at, and they let us do our job and we let them do theirs, and everything comes out. Yeah, and I heard you got a little seasick one time. Is that true? Yeah. This guy's a new nickname, Upchuck, right? Yeah, I am the infamous Upchuck. Yeah, we had a call once where I did get seasick, but I was able to still continue to do my job, and we got a real good story out of it. All right, we can't wait to see those episodes. I want to come outside here and talk to Captain Mike Parker just for a brief moment to really get a taste for what this Fireboat 1, what she can do. This boat has all sorts of technology inside. There's infrared cameras. What other technology do you guys have in here?
Besides the FLIR, we're equipped with radios that will communicate with just about any agency in the city and around the county. We consider this to be a command vessel, so we can put an incident commander on this vessel and run a complete scene right from within the fireboat. We also have all of the same equipment that you'd have on a fire truck or a rescue truck, and just out on the water. Just out on the water. And I hear that she could pump 8,000 gallons of water a minute. Can we show some of that stuff? 8,000 gallons per minute plus. Go ahead, Nick. Go. Hey, ready, engage port pump. All right, we are engaging the port pump. This is a display of force of Fireboat 1. Check her out, folks. 8,000 gallons of water a minute. Just one of the tools they use here. This total is 2,000 gallons per minute, so you can imagine we're only pumping half of her, or 1/4 of her capacity. If we hit the big nozzles up there, which we can't do because of the wind, we'd get 6,000. Excellent. All right, well, thank you so much for sharing your shift with us this morning. We all look forward to seeing this show. It starts Friday, 9:30 p.m. on CMT. Danger Coast, right here in South Florida.
Oh my goodness, cannot wait. Thank you so much, Eugene, and to the cast of Danger Coast. Again, premieres this Friday on CMT. Just a beautiful day out there right now. Can you just say, I mean, just looking at it, it's like, is it really that gorgeous? Biscayne Bay, Jeff Melcars. It really is that gorgeous.
Answer is finally something we can agree upon today, Kristen. Thankfully for that. Thanks for that. Thank you, Mother Nature, for bringing us all one happy family once again. As you can see, Precision Doppler HD, whoa, looking real nice out here. Yet another gorgeous day throughout South Florida. How long can this possibly last? Well, I've got the answer for you. Unfortunately, it is going to change at some point. So your weather headlines looking like this. More clouds today than we've seen the last few. More in the afternoon. It's going to be more of an afternoon thing. Still a good beach day, though. We got to watch out for those rip currents out there. Why? Well, check out these winds. You can see blowing from the east to the southeast, going to be picking up in the overnight hours. So as the day goes on, going to get actually even a little windier out there. So when you got those winds brushing, slamming right into the Atlantic coast, it kind of pushes that water over there. That's where we get some of those rip currents. So your marine forecast for you boaters out there looking like this. Winds out of the southeast about 10 to 15 knots. A moderate chop out there. Eventually we're going to get up to right about where we should be this time of the year. 81 degrees. We've got some sun. We've got some clouds. And as you look at Futurecast HD, not all that many clouds all the way through your lunchtime. So grab a friend or two, get outside and enjoy it. Here comes some of those clouds on both coasts, though. Fort Myers, you can see over there now, West Palm, and then the clouds kind of continue to build with that onshore flow. But then we clear it out, and tomorrow looking to be a pretty decent day as well. As you can see in this extended forecast, here come the showers on Friday. I tell you this much, going to be the warmest day we've seen all week, and then here comes a cool front rolling through. Saturday and Sunday right now looking pretty good. Temperatures back down to around 80 degrees, but the humidity will be a little bit lower than it'll be even today. All right, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
That's still a slow go. I-75 near Miramar, right near Miramar Parkway. 2 cars and a van are on the median. No travel lanes are blocked, but onlooker delays all the way back to Pines Boulevard. Dave?
Thanks, Mr. Traffic. The Idol contestants were back at it last night, and Shirley Halpern had an all-access pass to the taping of the show. She's joining us right now to give us the inside scoop on the performances. Hey, Shirley, how are you?
Hey, Dave. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I think Casey James, Katie Stevens, they're also doing pretty well. A couple of good performances. Let's start with Casey. What'd you think?
Casey, he was the cat's meow last night, or maybe the cougar's meow. It was kind of insanity in the studio. He, for such a simple song, he had people on their feet screaming, cheering, crying. He pulled it off. I think he's sort of been holding back the emotions and the sensitivity. He's provided a lot of up-tempo rock numbers, and here was a country-flavored, beautiful rearrangement that he came up with completely on his own, and it wowed us.
It sounds like to me you got a little crush.
Oh my God, I have the biggest crush. It's not little, it's huge.
Okay, big news. We just broke it here on the morning show. How about Katie Stevens? Let It Be. I feel like that song's been done to death, but you got to give somebody credit when they do it well.
She did an amazing job. She was the comeback kid last night. She was exactly what we're looking for in American Idol, which is someone who shows growth, progress, development. She's had a rough couple of weeks. She's landed in the bottom 3 a few times. And here she just completely rises above. She delivers a beautiful version, really nuanced, and it was just beautiful. I don't even know what to say. She completely impressed everybody in the studio, the judges, the audience, everyone.
What'd you think of Andrew Garcia, Can't Buy Me Love? It was, I don't know, it was kind of like up-tempo and jazzy. What'd you think?
It's interesting. In the studio, it went over really well. People were standing up, they were clapping, they were dancing, they were having a great time. But then when I went home and watched it again, it just didn't translate. It came off almost like a cruise singer. So, I don't know. I think he could be going home tonight. It's not like he sang it badly. I think it was a completely, perfectly competent performance, but it just didn't resonate for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, to that point, I feel like it was the arrangement. It just was kind of funky. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it, dog.
Okay, fair enough, Dave.
That was my Randy Jackson impersonation. All right, so who do you think's going home if you had to choose?
I think it's going to be either Aaron or Andrew. I'm probably going to say Andrew because I think Aaron has the tween vote going for him. But Aaron's performance was the worst of the night. I mean, he had that great note at the end, but it was all over the place for the rest of the song.
All right. Well, good luck with Casey James. I hope I'm invited to your wedding. That's all I'm saying. Take care. We'll talk to you next week, Shirley. And remember just to check out our website, southflorida.com/idol. There you can vote on which of the bottom 3 you think should go home this week and who will go home next. Coming up, there has been a recent surge of cheating celebrity spouses, but what if it happens to you? Our sex and relationship therapist will be here to tell us the best way to handle the situation.
Yeah, you better be up by now. Look at that. There was a little 4D action coming right in your living room to grab that pancake. I would love it. Tasty, tasty stuff Pembroke finds. 81 degrees today. Hey, the high temperature, it's right about where it should be for this time of the year. And did somebody say something about a Facebook fan of the day, or that all of our Facebook fans were siding with Dave Azer for the first time in the show's history? I think they did. And in fact, it's time for Facebook fan forecast. There you go. Hey, Lisa, enjoy the gorgeous weather out there. Perhaps on South Beach, which is where we are right there. Wouldn't it be great if it was that easy to go from Fort Lauderdale and just land in South Beach? Tonight, 71 degrees, partly cloudy. Watch out for those gusty winds out there in the overnight hours. And the extended forecast, not looking too bad today, tomorrow, and then on Friday, here comes some showers. Not going to be a rain out by any stretch of the imagination. Not quite enough moisture in the atmosphere for that. But we're going to clear things out Saturday and Sunday, looking real nice, right about 80 degrees. All right, Mr. Traffic, how's the morning rush?
All right, Jeff, we know.